Okie dokie. That was surely the last technical issue we're gonna have today. That was it. That was the actual end of today's technical issues. Right? We're done now.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're good.
Oh yeah.
Probably. Well,
For sure.
all right. So, last week, we came down to Kerrick. We got set up. We got introduced to a very nice gentleman by the name of Dolphin Greggett, introducing himself as the mortician of the port town of Kerrick we'd traveled to, as well as the master of the Kerrick Grange. Apparently a local farmers union of some kind. He really did a lot to help us set up very easily for our first show in town. And though our first couple days of advertisements and promotion didn't go spectacularly, everything ended up, well, almost as good as it possibly could have. You guys got a show with a huge audience. And not just did you put on a good show, you put on the best goddamn show that you guys have ever performed. No contest at all. This night was incomparable. With the profits you made, I'm almost positive it is greater than the combined profit of every show that you have put on as the Circus of Wayward Wonders prior to this night. Moving off of the Isle of Arran has been the best goddamn thing that has ever happened to Circus of Wayward Wonders. And we wrapped up right after that finale. The final 3-ring outro, the critical success, the adoration of the crowd, the great raucous cheers of support. And as you all headed... Feels fucking good, man. As you all headed backstage, the professor, of course, was there to meet you. Already looking through some papers and some counting some ticket sales by the front. Almost like he looking at it like he doesn't understand what he's reading. After this, I'm honestly inclined perhaps to start saying by Abadar. These figures can't possibly be right. Let me run this again. Through expenses, through setup. We're paying, what, 5 silver pieces a day for the land? Half of a gold for all?
Yeah. Not much, is it?
And the sales? Those investments in the binoculars were certainly a spectacular idea for tonight's show, so when it nearly doubled our ticket sales at the door, I'm thinking that just after everything, raw actual profit is going to be up in the hundreds, multiple, over 200 gold even.
Did you say over 200 gold profit?
Is that good?
That is a lot of profit.
It's beyond good, Artemis. It doesn't even seem like this should... I fear I'm missing something. In Escadar, we made 60 or 70, and those were spectacular nights after dealing with the menagerie and having no competition. But 200 gold!
Well, maybe having the menagerie in their town made them people less inclined to spend money. I feel like we're the only show around. They're probably very excited to have us here.
Let me run this all one more time. I have to be missing something. And he kind of turns with these sheets of paper and different things, just scratching and writing already 2 notes.
If it seems like it's really good, I feel like we should not look into it too much in case it gets worse. No?
If we should look into it to make sure it's as good as we think.
All right.
Well, I do say, as Blue comes back from his performance here, I don't know if you were just stringing us along back in Escadar, or you were waiting to really lift the curtain until we were free from the Ring of Dusklight's danger, but by whatever gods any of you pray to, whatever gods there may even be, That was one hell of a performance. I've never seen a crowd like that, and I thought Escadar was quite the sizable city. Kerrick! I understand where they're getting. All these people, even... And Blue, even, back here, looking back as the crowds are all spilling out from the stands, filtering towards the different exits of your tent, out into the evening, open air. He is at a loss for words, just by the sheer size of the crowd. Like, he can't even put together two and two of where all these people came from. And at first glance, to all of you, it would kind of look the same. Yeah, Kerrick's a pretty decently sized city, maybe a bit bigger than Escadar. But the vast majority of that seems like it's mostly just port workers and sailor traffic, and you don't see much of that crowd in here. What's come to see your show today? It looks like it would logically have to be almost the entire actual living population of Kerrick, which, just from a business perspective, that's inconceivable. That's not something that realistically happens. You guys as well have no immediate answer for where all of these people have even come from. The size of the crowds compared to the town, it doesn't really add up.
Maybe we're just that good.
We're pretty awesome.
Could be.
Right?
Yes.
I run around and give
high fives.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume that was definitely what he was gonna say. Run around and give some high fives. That sounds
I've given high
perfectly-
fives.
It is in fact high fives.
Yeah, right. It's always high fives.
It's always high fives. Low fives.
And as everyone's still reveling in excitement here, one man breaking away from the throng, a couple of you roustabouts closing the curtains towards the backstage area as all your actors in the finale and all their gear and everything gets carted back, just to make sure that the wandering crowds are directed back out towards the town as they're wont to do. But coming through directly towards them and towards you is Dolphin Gregan himself, the mortician, of course, all of you would at this point recognize. And he quickly, huge beaming smile on his face, just kind of weaves through these roustabouts and back toward this curtain and picks it with one hand as it's to pull it out and kind of stick his head back. Pardon me, Selwyn, Narbus. Oh, there you are. I suppose it's probably a formal way to ask this, but may I join you back here briefly?
Sure.
I do not know any formal way to ask that.
Well, I know there's all sorts of different kinds of permissions based on various professions. There's very structured and specific ways that sailors and visitors ask captains for permission to board their ship, and well, by all means, this backstage area, your very tent, is your ship. As far as I can tell, this is your place of business. And it's, again, I feel error after error with me and my proper manners and socials introducing myself to you, but I can't help but be taken away by the wonders. This show, it was so far beyond anything I could have imagined. Even with all the hopes I had for the joy you'd bring to the good people of the Sward, this was truly spectacular, all of you. I'm so very glad that you've brought the Circus of Wayward Wonders to the good people of Kerrick. And so too are the good people of Kerrick and the surrounding environs, as you can see.
Yeah, clearly. Surprised with how many came.
Well, it looks like it's been a pretty incredible draw. You must have done a very good job with your promotion, or word of mouth, perhaps, with something like this is as effective as I'd hoped it would be. I'm recognizing faces out in the crowd, not just from Kerrick or even the surrounding farms, but some from almost as far afield as Castanley, the Cleve.
Ooh,
People have traveled
great.
several days, even,
They've
seemingly just to come
traveled
see the
to come?
show.
They traveled far to come see the show?
Oh, absolutely! The Swardlands covers a, fairly large expanse, and even given the roads and the farm trails, it's some day's journey between the major settlements, but your word seems to have either reached them in enough time for them to reach here, or perhaps luck of the cards, luck of the draw, luck of the stars even. Not to undermine your own accomplishments, of course, you must know much more of the local workings, traveling schedules, perhaps even, than I'd given you much more credit for. The timing couldn't have been better.
Yeah, we got pretty... sure. It was all planned.
Selwyn is always prepared for any situation.
It's spectacular. Truly spectacular. Every word I've heard of you from the folk in Escadar, absolutely deserved. I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for the Grange, for Kerrick, and for the good people of the Sward for this performance. Please, if you would, what are your plans forward now? What's the procedure? Do these shows continue? Do you stay here for some time? Is this nightly things? I understand from most of your posters and whatnot, it was a singular date. So it is more of a one-off sort of performance. I was, again, truly, utterly swept away, captivated. It was magnificent. Never seen anything like it.
Speaking of which, speaking of magnificent, you wouldn't happen to know of any good smiths, would you?
Smiths? Oh, yes, of course. Well, most of them, I believe, are up towards the Cleave, where a lot of the work gets done, or some of the company folk down in Turpin Row. We, of course, have some here in the town as well that can help you out. I'm not sure if their smithy is going to be quite large enough to, well, handle the demands of an operation quite as large as this, but wouldn't have to check, and if you just need simpler, smaller bits of work done, I'm sure they could help you down at Bangers. I can introduce you, as a matter of fact.
How difficult? No, I'm gonna ask the smith, I suppose.
Of course, of
Well,
course.
we could go up to the Cleave and put on a show there, and then have an encore on our way back down this direction.
True.
I, for one, would be enthralled with the prospect of an opportunity to see another performance of your fantastic circus, as too, I'm sure, with the good people of Kerrick and the Sward and the Grange as a whole. But, of course, I can't say it would be selfish of me to attempt to hoard you all here like a dragon hoarding wealth within a mountain. No, you must travel. That is how you do. That is how you make your shows and your living and your, well, you follow the money, of course. Well,
There's a dragon. Where does the dragon live?
I think he's the dragon.
You're not a dragon.
well, rather hoping not to be the dragon specifically. Here, if you're planning to travel onto the Cleave, perhaps I can help you out as, well, I'd offered prior. Now, I can't set you up with anything in particular there. With the Grange, I had access to this market square here in Kerrick for you to perform. But I can write an introductory letter for you to take to the mayor of Matt and Cleave, Mara Lashari.
That would be most appreciated. Getting
Well,
a good word can get us a good spot.
I can put you in a good request and a fair word from a fellow master of the Grange. While she does oversee some of the operations further out to east, she is, and her entire settlement, are part of the Grange itself. She's under no, of course, obligations to extend any favors as such, but I imagine that she'll see your performance as much the same way that I do. A welcome reprieve.
And what was her name again?
Marta Lashari, but usually Marta. Not terribly formal.
Well, we'd really appreciate that letter. Then we are actually planning on probably moving out fairly soon.
Oh, well, of
The
course.
call of the money.
Anything I can do to assist, any favors that I can offer for the spectacular favors you've given our fair town. I'll spend the evening penning something up, getting it ready. Hopefully I'll have it ready for you tomorrow morning, and then, if you wish, Miss Selwyn, I could take you down to Bangers myself to introduce you to Mr. Nolmuk, I believe his name is. I haven't had much dealings with him personally, but I believe he is friendly to the Grange in the town of Kerrick. And besides, introductions can never hurt, can they?
No, they cannot.
Of course, I don't want to, again, insert myself or interfere in your businesses. If there's things you need to be running, either secrets of the show or your trade, things you do not wish to share, please do not feel remiss at all to rebuff my offers here. I'm only seeking to help.
Are you curious?
Well, somewhat now, I must admit.
Well, I need to make, and I'll pull out Clara. Need to make this one cold iron.
Oh, I see. Well, that'll certainly be something to talk with Noel Mock about. My trade's a mortician, and I know basically nothing of metalcraft, or really even what cold iron is. I've heard the name, but as far as forms, functions, availability, something entirely beyond me.
You
I
use
will
it to stab demons.
stab demons.
Yes.
Well, I would hope that there's not much, well, terrible demon presence to be found throughout the Sward, but truth be told, these are strange times. And I can't blame anyone for an abundance of caution in their travel, especially with such a large operation to protect as this one. As a matter of fact, now, I don't want to burden your minds with things to worry about that aren't, well, of necessarily any actual holding. But we have heard of all kinds of strange rumors and stories over the last few years, it seems, almost. One that seems to perhaps have some merit is the area down near Turpin Row, kind of between Turpin and Broome, far to the southeast of here, beyond the expanse of the Grange, if you're traveling so far. There's been some reports of strange movements throughout the forests down there. From what I hear, people have been chalking it up to something perhaps even outright supernatural, which I can't really blame them, of course, given, well, what I've told you a minute ago.
The forest themselves are moving, or something is moving within the forest?
It's rumors and hearsay, so there's never much for specific details, unfortunately. But I've heard all sorts of things, from fairies to near walking trees to ghosts of the woods. I don't know if there's much substance to it, but when you hear something enough times, you always have to at least give it to a modicum of caution, I figure.
I cannot
Never wise to brush
imagine
these things
near
off.
walking trees. That is rather fanciful.
I suppose it is perhaps somewhat a ridiculous concern to bring up given the present company. But they're... well, the problems I've been dealing with over the past year and a half haven't been the only ones. And certainly not the only disappearances plaguing the Sward in recent times. I mean, it's never unheard of. It's the risks of, I suppose, sparse civilization, so to speak. People are almost never whisked away in the woods by errant fae and the streets of Absalom, are they? But I suppose much the same could be said of the various gangs and crime syndicates working within its walls. Each has their own problems, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
But again, don't think too much on it. Just perhaps something to take into consideration. I don't want to overburden you with what may be nothing more than local rumors and ghost stories. Well, any more than I already have with my own, of course. Still.
Does seem to be rather popular around here, I would say.
Well, perhaps things lead to, well, other things. I've heard all sorts of similar stories, some travelers coming through Kerrick from around the area, not just Deeble and Absalom, but the traders and the port ships that come in from farther lands and fields like Taldor or Onderan, closer to the Varuden forest across the inner seas, and all kinds of fanciful beasts and magical fairies stalking its borders, keeping people out. And there's a very good reason the place isn't well settled, but the kind of problems that are few and far between in the Grange, largely.
Well, let us know if any more bodies show up of no apparent reason, or if you have any odd dreams, or if anything remarkable happens, or...
I feel once again...
I could make a list.
Once again, I have the misfortune of tracking the conversation to my own selfish needs. No, today and tonight, even especially for you folk here, must be a night of celebration. That was a spectacular show. While I haven't had the personal pleasure, of course, of gracing one prior, I can't imagine you're disappointed with crowds such as these.
Yeah, it was quite the show. Very happy to be. We'll be excited for an encore when we come back.
Barkbeard, someone's making weird faces.
She always makes weird faces. It's very charming.
Whoa.
Well, I will
What are you
leave
laughing at, Gray?
I'm not laughing.
Got something to say to my face? Eyes down here.
No. Mm-mm.
Harvest was laughing.
I'll leave you
wasn't.
to clean up your after show, your revelry, and certainly your profits. I'll get to work on that letter of introduction for the Mayor of Cleve, and like I said, I'll have it ready for you tomorrow. I can even hand deliver it down here if you wish.
Sure, that would be fantastic. One last trip.
And it seems a fine appointment. I'll see you on the morrow then, and a pleasant evening to all of you. And again, what a spectacular performance! And he bows deeply, kind of, sort of oddly pushing his way out through this backstage curtain, which is a pretty big, heavy separating curtain that he seems a little unclear on how to get through for a moment before managing to bumble his way out and leave the rest of you backstage.
What a man.
So I guess once he comes back with that letter, we can really leave whenever we feel like it. Is anybody else besides going to the Getting a new dagger is what you want. Short sword is what you
Short
want.
sword,
After we
yes.
can do.
Stop drawing on my map, and I'll hold it out of Ara's reach. Wait, so when the fuck did you draw on it?
He did it
I
during
don't
dinner.
know what you're talking about.
I watched
It
him
says
do it during
Cirque
dinner.
was here. I didn't realize you
That
could
wasn't
spell.
me. That was somebody else.
You said you couldn't read.
I blame
Well,
you.
that does seem like the perfect cover story then. I guess it must not have been him.
It was probably Barkbeard.
Oh no, it wasn't me. I have better
Did you
handwriting.
cross
than
out
that.
letters to make it the sad lads?
Maybe.
The sad lads.
I made it the sad lands, and then Colby made it the sad lads.
Group effort.
Excellent.
Group effort to vandalize Selwyn's map of the region.
Well, it's not vandalism if I'm the one making graffiti on it.
Well,
Just
at
when
some
everyone
point,
else
we won't
does it.
have any map
Yeah.
left at all. It'll just be a series of color lines.
That's what a map is.
You got me there.
Excellent.
Well, I
Oh,
went
that I
through
guess we could.
everything again, and it does. Well, I can't find any error. I've gone through the checklist twice and thrice again, and this 200 gold pieces and just raw lump profits. Did my voice just crack?
It happens to all of us. Don't worry about it.
Hasn't happened to me in what must have been like 50 years? 60?
Selwyn's voice always cracks when she sees money.
No, it depends on the scope of money. I wouldn't crack over a coin. I would crack over platinum.
I've seen you crack over 5 copper.
Those were really, really vintage copper coins.
Oh, are you a collector, Selwyn? Because I actually have a quite extensive collection of various mintings from throughout
I collect
the
them to
Undersea.
sell.
Oh, well, of course, that's also selling and trading and acquisition is really the bulk of the hobby. I'd be interested to see that. Do you have a standing collection? Or?
No, I sold it.
I see. I see. You more
Yes,
use
I-
it more directly as a vessel for profits. Oh, well,
Yes,
fair enough.
like everything else. I'm sorry, Prof.
You know, it is a rather niche hobby, I suppose, but one that I've kept myself interested in and have been able to make spectacular progress with here in Kerrick so far. But anyway, what? Well, I don't even know what to begin to do with so much money.
I do.
But-
Bigger tent.
That is largely what I had been thinking as well.
Largely. Nice.
I would hope not to receive credit for undue and untoward accidental garbage humor, but
Ara's laughing hysterically.
this has certainly done wonders for our renown, that much is certain. Perhaps I could begin investigating commissioning a larger tent with this, but even still, and he kind of looks around at just the size of your backstage area now with the tent that you have. Well, I thought this was massive, and we haven't
We
even
filled
had
it
this
easily.
2 months, have we?
Yeah, and we grow quickly. We're a giant in the making. Now,
When we splintered off to make the Circus of Wayward Wonders, I had never really imagined that we'd find such incredible success. Well, I'll start investigating where we can possibly commission or source someone for materials to work on a larger tent. But I figure with the crowds we brought in just in our first show on the Isle of Kortos, we could do what with doubling it even. But-
Maybe Ramba Dassel herself. I think I've got a good rebrand once we're big enough. We'll be the circus of
Even-
worldwide wonders.
Even with the, I do like that, even with the cost of commission work and raw materials and everything for even something as absurd as making our tent twice as large, I doubt that would take more than half of just this excess.
Well, there's always ways to spend money. That's never been a problem that people had. We will be back here in maybe 2 or 3 weeks, so if we could try and get the commission started. we could-
Yes. This does jog my memory here. I had been speaking with, and he turns and faces out through the area towards Sniggles, who's off in the corner with 2 bags and a bunch of things, and seems to be just like staring at the stack of her random alchemical supplies, and occasionally moving something from one stack to the other, and then looking very intently at the piles again. Forgive me, I don't remember the rat's name.
Niggle.
That's Sniggles.
Sniggles, that was it. I had been speaking with Sniggles, and perhaps
Sorry, that was me.
strange
What elvish
sounds coming.
monstrosity did you bring?
And I've never heard stranger sounds come from a man's stomach before meeting you, Zerg. It's taught me perhaps more than I ever wanted to know about, well, potential repercussions of half-orc biology. Regardless, Sniggles, you come here for a moment. And Sniggles doesn't even seem to hear, still just kind of looking back and forth in these piles. Picking up a small vial of something, moving it over
Uh-oh.
towards the other pile, then shaking your head and putting it back in the first pile, then just putting your fingers together.
What are you doing?
You going over to Sniggles?
Yeah.
So Sniggles would kind of turn around, sort of surprised. No! Wait, I have to sort everything. I have to get everything in the right piles for one act or the other, for different kind of reagents and primers, and it's an order. The whole show, I didn't get to do it today, which is good, because honestly, I wasn't really super prepared, perhaps. I've been reorganizing everything that I do. What with the the sprays of fire and the sparks and the colors and everything. It's all order. It's all order. It's which goes into what and what stack in a pile and how I light it. Anyway,
Right.
that seemed like a lot of people.
That was a lot of people.
And Sniggles kind of looks up and sees the professor, and I imagine the rest of the party just started staring at her. Did I do something?
Did you do something?
Everyone's looking at me like I did something.
I'm wondering, did you do something?
Yep. Well, I'm doing this.
Professor, what did you do?
And the professor comes back over. Sniggles had a bit of an idea for, well, making a name for ourselves here in the Sward lands if we're going to be staying around for some. Oh yes. The shirts, and the ties and the capes and the badges and the
Capes.
yeah. So when we were in Escadar forever, basically, until we were with you guys, and we weren't in Escadar anymore. There's a lot of places, and the menagerie, the circus that was there before, that was already there before you showed up. They had stuff. They had a word for it. It was they had a word for it, but they sold a bunch of merchandise. That was the word they had. They sold a bunch of. They had shirts and they had capes and they had hats and they had little spinning pinwheels that were kind of neat. They were very flashy. They were very pretty, but they had a bunch of things that they would sell out from their place while they were doing the shows outside the big tops. We'd see people with them, and it was like a another ticket because they sell the tickets already for people to get in and people to the shows. But then they also do sell them more stuff. But then the people that had them, that really liked them, you'd see most of them coming back. Like a reminder if they're still at the show. So I heard that we're staying around the Swardlands for a while, and if we're staying around the Swardlands, maybe we could do merchandise, and then everyone would have something to remember that there's the shows, and they come back more often, probably.
So you say that people can buy a Misako cape.
Yeah. Like imagine if you got a cape, or even like for Misako, you could have like that's your dog. You could have like a dog costume, like
He's
for
a
a dog
wolf.
that you could put on another dog.
Or we could, what would be very efficient is we could sell mud and have it as an Aura costume. Arbus costume.
It's kind of.
I don't just wear mud.
Well, you can get like. I mean, some of it could be easy. Like look at you, or look at Aura. You're just like toys that walk. You could be actual toys. You could find somebody and commission them to make toys, and you could sell the toys to kids, and then.
And
the
they
kids.
could put them in a box in their room. Yes, I don't know if Aura
Well,
would
we
like
don't.
that
We
very
don't
much.
want to put him in a box. He does not. Mm-mm.
It
Mm-mm.
would
But then they
be
get
the
attached to it,
toys
and they bug their
remakes.
parents.
parents, and their parents bring them back to the show, and they buy more tickets.
And then buy more toys.
But
And
if
they buy
we
more toys with their more tickets.
if we sell Ara, who's going to perform his stuff?
We don't.
Like, we don't sell Aura. We make more Auras, more tinier Auras that are sticks that don't talk. Like
This is
like Auras who is
blasphemy.
normal.
Actually pull out a mini version of me that I had already made. Like this.
Already made.
How are you not holding up the actual thing that you physically have on
Like
your lap?
this.
Like,
I forgot
You
it. It's so
actually
soft. It's so soft. I don't want to stop hugging it. This.
no, yeah, like that. Like you can make them. You can do something like that. And then, or we find someone like an artist that can make a tailor that does those things with shirts and designs, like who made and Sniggles looks down, or one of you guys that made these pants, these stripy pants. I like the stripy pants. The stripy pants are nice. But whoever we have going on for like the main event, or whoever the crowd's into like, we can have like their costumes, their outfits, and like smaller sizes or regular people sizes. Probably smaller if it's Asha, because she's very large.
Or Sark. He's also very large.
We can make tiny stuffed mammoths.
There's a lot of stuff we can make.
We can make a
Tiny
pipe
stuff, man.
carved like blue. So we
Someone,
breathe smoke.
we should do it.
I like this idea, Selwyn.
It
Yep.
sounds like a lot of fun.
First, I gotta get the bigger tent, and then we'll think about it.
What do you mean? Think about it, Selwyn. Me and Ara really want to do this. It's a great idea.
Sniggles is terribly excited about this idea, and I feel like perhaps more for, well, the existence of the toys and things themselves, but I must admit, well, I was quick to dismiss the idea at first. It would be a fantastic way to build perhaps a more lasting audience, a base, especially in areas that we may want to stay or travel back to sometime later. And in some place like the Swardlands, where everything seems to be so interconnected, all these farmers and merchants traveling back and forth between these settlements throughout the lands, well, it's like advertising that we don't have to do ourselves.
Surely. It's not a bad idea. Give me, and I'll run into my own wagon real quick. Find out my own letters. Write some down. Crunch some numbers. Come back. Yeah. We should do it. Make some quality merchandise.
Maybe a good idea to start preparing before the next show, so I can investigate. Well, we're planning to head down to Matt and Cleve next, correct?
Up to Baton Cleve, yeah. Down up the coast of sadness? Up the coast of sadness.
It's not the coast of sadness.
It's the coast of sadness.
I guess it largely depends on the point of reference or which direction. I mean, this is, I suppose, why the compass was invented. But I don't know if there's much for tailors or craftsmen of that sort in Matt and Cleve itself. Now, this if we rather wish to get a larger tent, it may be worth me staying behind to organize this here. There are a lot of shipwrights and larger scale tailors that work on the sails and rigging and masting of the ships in the ports. I don't know if Matt and Cleve will have the same. If we're going to want to commission a truly massive tent, it's probably best done here in Kerrick. As far as this merchandising idea, well, I suppose that could largely be done anywhere. If we can get raw supplies, and we have plenty of skilled craftsmen here in the circus itself. But if we want to truly produce them on a larger scale, we'll have to see who we can find that can assist us.
Well, we'll be back in a couple of weeks anyway, so it wouldn't be a long time. Do you have an apprentice or something that has been, or anyone who knows what you do around here that could replace you for the time being, or are we just going to flail for like 3 weeks until we come back?
Well, Selwyn, I dare say, with the experience you have now, a few shows under your belt as ringmaster, you should be more than capable of handling the running of things yourself.
Well, we do tend to adventure quite a bit outside the circus, and someone has to run the circus while
Yeah, and Soul can do
we
it.
aren't there.
You do raise a good point. I suppose if you're going to be investigating other whatever it is you do around Matt and Cleve.
Hello? Down here?
Mm-hmm.
If we're off, and it's just basic runnings, I'm sure Tulip can take care of it.
Oh, well, I'll take the proposition to her. She has been around with our Circus of Wayward Wonders for as long as it's been the Circus of Wayward Wonders. I'll take the idea and, well, start musing on this whole merchandising thing. I do kind of like the idea of shirts embroidered with our... That one we should invest in a logo, perhaps. The menagerie had one. It was quite finely crafted. They had a logo, they had a saying across their front gates. Those are the kind of things that we should probably have to merchandise.
What was the saying in front of the gate? Abandon hope, ye who will enter here?
Yeah, something like that.
That may have very well been the truth behind it. But, no, I believe it was actually much the inspiration we had. It was all manner of wonders rest within.
Why don't we just take that?
They are truly out
That
of
is
business.
plagiarism.
They don't exist anymore.
Is it still Is there a plagiaristic equivalent of grave robbing?
Yes, grave robbing.
We've done that.
No, we have not.
Oh, well, we
Is
kind
it
of
still
have.
plagiarism if the business no longer exists?
I'm gonna have to get back on
Who's
your
gonna-
legalities on that.
Someone who's gonna stop us, Mr. Stesslight?
Well, the issue is I don't want anything associated with her, even remotely.
I mean, we're
That is
associated with her remotely.
Fair, I suppose.
We're not.
Well, you're very witty and have lots of words, plays on words, or whatever they're called. I'm sure you can figure something out.
They're called puns, and it's an art.
Yeah, see? Exactly. You take pride in it. You could surely figure out something.
I'll give it some thought.
For the life of me, cannot imagine for a single moment why anyone would have even the slightest amount of pride in a pun, but she does seem to enjoy them, yes. Anyway, think on that. I'll go find Tulip. And tonight's show, if we keep growing like this, we won't have to dream about performing in Absalom. We can just buy the city outright.
It's a great idea. I like it.
How much does the city cost?
Don't even think about it.
So, party.
Hamlet, a couple of murdered politicians. Absalom, oof, you're gonna need a lot of politicians killed.
Because I was organizing the migration and everything, I did not... The one thing I didn't have on the super rush of my agenda was updating the access to the circus rules in
Mhm.
in
Which is
Foundry.
why I have rolled 20 open. Big brain.
Because I thought, like, hey, we're definitely not going to be doing another show today, so we don't need them imminently. What we do have is the concept of merchandise, which is an interesting upgrade. If you want to invest in merchandising before any show you do, it's from 20 to 60 gold, so it is a bit on the pricier end. But it will mean that a chunk of your anticipation, your final anticipation, so for this show here, what would have been 92 anticipation will carry over to the next show, giving you a massive base to start with. So if you had invested the 40 gold before this show, since anticipation factors directly into the calculation of how much money you make, the carryover anticipation to your next show, even on just a normal success, would be worth 46 gold. So it would have just been straight profit of 6 gold, 12 if your next show is a critical success.
And then the higher you go, the more profit you get.
Yeah, you can get up to 75% of your anticipation to carry over. And your shows are now getting to the point where they're large enough and they are successful enough that if you're doing shows like this, and it's not contingent on you critically succeeding or even regular succeeding, just how much anticipation you end up with. So if you invest in merch and then just go ham on slamming crit successes on the trick checks all throughout the show, you're going to carry over a bunch of anticipation to the next show, and you're going to end up with a huge pot to build up big stocks the next time you perform. But other than that, with that glorious show completed, and now just the wrap and the cleanup left to be done, it is time to plan. It is time to figure out what you're doing next. But before that, it's probably time, I imagine, to rest. So, after such a wildly victorious showing, such an incredible critical success, Selwyn, what are you doing with the rest of your evening?
Me? I am gonna go to my my card. My own personal space, my safe space. And I'll start working out the logistics behind the upgrades that I would like to procure, which will be the huge tent expansion, as well as the quality merchandise for the next show, and try to make arrangements, or at least prepare to make arrangements, to help Professor.
As you're sketching out, playing these merchandising options here, you hear once again a familiar voice in your head as Tilby contacts you.
Mm-hmm.
Selwyn, my love, we might have a bit of an issue.
Uh-huh.
In the Sward lands now, correct? I believe there are a set of all four really, of the other remaining Starstone Towers, not too far from your current location. Well, there might be a problem with one of them a bit more severe than just Trogs, Zolgoths, whatever.
Demons.
Well, occasionally demons, but I suppose demons can only be so much of a problem when you have me on your side, can't they? I've been hard at work on that end. You need not concern yourself too far. They did have some others they were hoping to work with, but I introduced myself, had some words, and they very quickly, largely, had changes of heart. Dogs are finding themselves terribly short on allies these days.
That I like. Now, other issues than trucks?
Yes. So there's a tower that I believe a lot of the folk around here refer to as the Life Root Stone. It's down, if you're in Kerrick, about straight to the south of where you are, past the hills.
Southwest of the Hollows, yeah.
You know what I'm speaking of, yes. The tower has a very interesting history. it seems to be one of the only ones that really had any real usage beyond pilgrimages and occasional visitation from traveling druids in the time after when the Rodan used them to raise the Isles or whatever the story is. It became a war outpost for some time. A war outpost used in a large-scale assault they were building on the city of Absalom itself. They tried to muster their forces out here, far to the northwest, outside the prying eye of the Absalom city guards, or their standing armies, or their navies, or anything else, inland enough to be away from Kerrick and its busy ports. But they were eventually discovered. And in the ensuing assault, the tower seems to have largely been destroyed.
Ah,
Now, I was curious as to the state of this destruction, or whether it was really overstated. And I took a little bit of a look myself, actually. I did you a favor there. Don't say I never do anything for you. I'm actually doing quite a lot for you back here, trying to assist with this adventure of yours. Ours, I suppose. And it's not, well, it's not lies. The tower is mostly rubble. Now, the interesting part is that it still retains its Aeon Stone. But that Aeon Stone now hovers some 100-odd feet in the sky, orbiting nothing. And, well, even I am at a loss for how exactly we're going to get to it.
wait, it's still hovering in the sky.
Over the remains of the tower that still stand, yes. Visible from some miles out, so the area is still not difficult to find. But I'm still relatively unclear on how these Aeon Orbs themselves actually work. We've only really experienced the one, and not positive what exactly you did with it. But I imagine it required you to be closer than, well, 100 feet below it, or, well, we wouldn't have to worry about the Trogs occupying the towers. We could just do our work from outside. So when...
Last time it seemed triggered by the death of whatever was threatening it.
Well, I can hope perhaps the same happens here, but... Well, I dare say your circus performance knowledge may be of more use than my research here. I hear you fancy flying recently.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, you may need to take your show a little further than just the outlying towns, if we're going to get our hands on this orb.
Well, we could leave the circus in the hollows, right? Or Castanley. And then set out ourselves. I know Aura's able to cast magic. Surely he'll be able to fly. Or cast it on others.
Well, put your heads together, figure out what you need to do, but just know before you head out there that this is going to be, well, an interesting obstacle to overcome. Well, best of luck, dear. If you need my help, of course, I'm always here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the heads up.
Anything I can do to help. Trust me, I only want to see you succeed, Selwyn.
I understand, yeah. Friends with benefits, after all.
Friends with the best of benefits. And after that, she leaves you to your designs, your machinations, your art, and arts and crafts projects here. Arbus! What do you find yourself doing on such a successful night as this one?
Get away from the tent. I think the last time you mentioned it was a relatively nice evening. Go out a little further away with the wolves and just sort of lay out and hang out. Do a little stargazing with the boys and the boy and the girl. Just relax and just enjoy some peace and quiet time, because she's not the biggest fan of the large crowds and all the people.
So your daily rituals really don't even change so much.
Nope.
I mean, To be fair, you are, I imagine, largely unclear, as you said, of what 200 gold even is, or if that's good or anything. So, I suppose it makes sense that, well, you're just chilling, just hanging out, doing the same old, same old. How about you, Berkbeard?
Yeah, I'm gonna get within eyesight. I don't know how far out Arbus went. I'm gonna get within eyesight of Arbus and then just plant down, root down, turn to a tree.
Creepily watch me?
Well, not to worry, you won't really notice me unless you're looking.
Berkbeard likes to watch.
Oh no.
Ugh.
You
Ooh,
won't notice
He just likes
me,
to
so
watch.
that makes it better.
nay.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Okay.
I feel like the beard held back the creepy.
Yeah, a little bit.
You unleashed, you freed the creepy.
You've
It's like the
unleashed
training where it
Berkbeard's
came
full
off.
power.
You can, now you can see the expression, so it makes it worse.
Ara, do you do anything less weird?
Ara actually is super excited with all the people. So he's out following the last vestiges of the crowd that's dispersing. Just being part of the crowd, listening to people talk and having fun. I spilled soda everywhere.
Oh no.
Okay.
Why does it keep
What is
happening?
this? Why does this happen?
What are you?
You?
Me?
What do you drink out of a pot? Like,
I'm an idiot.
Got us.
oh boy, you have a tough life. You have a truly challenging experience.
It
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, that's basically what all he's doing. He's just listening to the crowds talk and enjoying just being surrounded by so many happy people.
Speaking of surrounded by happy people, Zerg, even before you have left the backstage area, Asha would find her way to you. Massive grin on her face, still in her glorious, incredibly bright, vibrant pink tutu with the stripy stockings that she wears during her performance. And stop before you, hands balled into fists, fists on her hips, slightly flexing her massive bulging muscles. You see, the kind of crowds that we can draw, Zerg, the raw power that inspires these smaller, weaker folk.
Yes, all of the success of this was you and me. I know this. We were fantastic. Perfect.
You understand, then, that of course you do, the merits of raw physical strength, the might that the
course.
pair of us wield together, Zerg.
We're unstoppable, basically. Invincible, I want to say, maybe.
Invincible, perhaps not even too strong a word for a pair such as us. Unstoppable, even.
You know, from I think it's from Predator, the big bulging.
Giant.
Yes. Yes.
It's exactly that, but they're both green.
Yeah. Yes, we make good team. Very good.
And she clasps your hand and grins, her lower fangs kind of jutting up, raising her upper lip a bit as she smiles. It makes her grin very toothy and visible. They knew you could understand. Many of these folk do not believe our people wise, but we have the wisdom of our ancestors, passed down through generations.
Yes, I have not felt this understood by a teammate for a little while now. It's been a minute since someone as strong as me could get it. It's nice to have you here.
It is fortunate that you and your friends were strong enough to defeat Dusklight and whoever else stood in your path of the menagerie. I was wasted there. Wasting, even. Gigi and myself, performing those small crowds for scraps. This, here, we travel to find larger markets, larger throngs of adoring fans who can only hope but to bask in our glorious might. So,
We will only get stronger. You want to go train a little bit?
we should head out back to the stalls. I must see to Gigi. She is well maintained and fed for the evening. You should join me.
I must go see to Ilva. Make sure she is well maintained for evening.
Zerg,
Unlucky.
Yes.
do you still not see, after what we have built today, what we have given all of these people, how wasted your efforts are?
Is a different situation than this. You a strong friend. I get this. It's good. Ilva, still strong, not friend. More than friend. You. All right.
Zerg,
Stumbling for the orcish word for it, but can't find one.
I understand the concept of a mate. What I cannot understand is your choice.
Well, you don't have to. It's okay.
You settled
for
so
me.
low.
Oh no, this is not okay. She's wonderful, wonderful woman.
She may be wonderful for a pale skin. But you have come to the menagerie, and fate has brought us together now.
Yes, very happy to have good friend. Yes. Strong teammate is very helpful to have. Okay, buddy, I'll see you later.
as you go, she puts a hand on your shoulder to stop you. Zerg, can you, for one moment, comprehend, as I cannot, the near inconceivable might that our kin would possess? Our offspring would spawn legends.
Oh. I got to go to the bathroom. We'll talk later, Ashu. We'll talk later, and sort of hurry off.
That's lets you go and just kind of stands there like she just cannot understand what is happening. As you scramble away, Zerg, what do you do? Where do you go?
Anywhere but here.
There's a spell for that.
Or Zerg.
Zerg is gonna just hurry off in the direction of not the tents.
the
Into
wagons?
town.
Oh,
Zerg's
there's
going
into town. He's like, okay. Just makes his way.
Oh no.
And as you head out into town, as the crowds are dispersing away from this performance, it feels like near anyone else, as they're trickling back to their homes and their farmsteads throughout the streets, would recognize you. And at the very least, turn with a smile on their face, point you out to their kids. Some people with raised hands or raised drinks, even. If you came anywhere near a bar, you'd have at least a dozen people putting some effort into trying to get you to stop and drink with them and show the might of Zerg the Monster Man Badsky. And town, it seems, there is no place you can really find peace through here.
Thank you for coming. You're all my wonderful friends. It's nice to see you all. I come back. We have big drink party and rush off in the other direction, back towards the campground.
Zerg also doesn't fuck.
Zerg selectively fucks.
Ooh.
I apologize in
Sort of
advance for this one.
passing by
because-
and signing papers that are shoved in hands. Like, yes, good, yes, very good friend. High fives. A little bit too hard as I rush away.
Break a couple wrists on the way.
As you make your way back to the campgrounds, Eva would be out by your wagon, and you are not exactly subtle. And she would look almost kind of confused, but with a smile on her face. Zerg, You disappeared after show.
Yes, come inside, Dari. Let's go inside. Let's sit down and.
Oh, Startle just yoink her into the wagon. Zark,
It's nice inside. I like it in here. It's very comfortable. Let's stay in here all night.
Is everything,
And tomorrow, perhaps.
Is everything okay, Zerg?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I wanted to tell you, I was so proud that you had taken the stage again. That you have found the inner strength of your mind and your body to continue and to move forward. And not just that, to put on such a spectacular performance. I know that you have struggled, but this is a big step, and it shows your true strength, Zerg. Inner strength, real strength of heart.
Thank you very. I thought it was difficult, but it's good to be performing again with a friend who is just a friend and is nothing more than friend and teammate on the circus show. A very friendly, just a friend. That is Asha is very good. It's not the same as it was, but still very good.
You and Asha are an impressive pair to perform. That
Good.
Even I was
friendly
in awe.
teamwork is pays off. You know, is good when you are friends with someone.
It is
and only
incredible
friends.
how well that you mix your performance. It is a masterpiece. You
I
do
think
not,
Gigi did more work. I think.
but you held her aloft, with Asha even above her. I just,
Yes.
I am happy.
It was very good. I'm glad you liked the show.
I am happy that you have found this strength, Zerg. And I did not want it to go unsaid that this journey you walk, however difficult, you have made look as if the schoolwork of a child.
Yes. Child.
Is I know it was harder than you made it look, and I just wanted you to know that I am here for you. And again, I'm proud of you, Zerg, for all you have done, for how far you have come.
It was the best, man. I'm gonna give her a big hug.
You sure I'm gonna give her more than that?
Like a child.
A big hug.
Both of you, don't ruin the moment for me.
This is a
This is a
Christian
beautiful
show.
moment. The animals.
Coming.
So, Zerg, you have possibly slightly confused, but perfectly enjoyable enough evening, I am sure, in your wagon with Ilva, enjoying your great success as you do. And the following morning brings not just all of the money that the professor had believed the show would bring you, but a new dawn for new plans. And as you all awaken, the mood throughout the Circus of Wayward Wonders, the morale has absolutely never been higher. Your whole crew is riding unbelievable highs off of last night's performance. All seemingly, except for Asha, who seems a little withdrawn and kind of almost sullen still around, but not as clearly lifted as everybody else. I went this morning, after gathering around for your meal, reaffirming you really did make that much goddamn money yesterday.
Oh, yes.
As promised, Dolphin Gregan makes his way back into the camp. And as he comes through, he finds Selwyn and delivers unto you a sealed letter bearing an interesting emblem stamped in white wax that he explains as the symbol of the Kerrick Grange itself. Well, as I promised, proper letter of introduction to the Cleve for you. I hope this will help you out with Miss Marta, or Mayor Marta, I suppose. I have difficulty sometimes with her. It's not because she's a difficult person, of course. It's because perhaps, of course this is a fault of mine, been raised in, perhaps too much formality. It's the same struggle I have with, well, again, if no fault of your own, but you and your friends here of the circus. The mortician's life is frequently somber, and it's all built on
Don't
formality,
apologize. My family
mannerisms.
are animals.
Well, some of them quite literally, but some of the most magnificent parts of your show. You have a flying horse.
At this point, speaking of horses, I
Wagon
introduced
passes by
Cubby
the
to
back.
him. I introduced Cubby to him.
You just like carry Cubby over. Like,
I promised Cubby a treat if he would follow me. I've been
Cubby goes over
bothering
and
Cubby all morning.
he turns down. Oh, already have a circus mascot, I suppose. A fine dog. Man's best friend, they call them. Fantastic animals.
He's the best boy.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Cubby?
So, come on, getting a treat or what?
Yeah.
I followed you. Where are we
gotta go.
going? And
We
what
gotta
do
go
you
find
want me to
Cookie.
do?
We gotta go find Cookie. You're spending the
Greg,
morning
it's-
with me.
Eyes are just kind of like wide, staring at Cubby.
Yeah, he's
Turns
more
back
than
to
just a
Selwyn.
mascot, mate.
Dog.
Yeah, it's a talking dog.
Well, of course, I've had more than my fair share of dealing with Shunies and the like up with from Fernie and the Cleve, but this is that's different. That's the regular dog, but he can talk.
Well, it's not a regular dog, is it? He can talk.
We just Cubby's following our off in another direction at this point. It's just Circus of Wayward Wonders. I couldn't think of a more apt name for you if I tried. Okay, I could spend the rest of my life trying to pen out the words of poets to describe you better, but
In the words of Copy himself, I think, I reckon he's smarter than half the circus combined. I'm still working on that one, but, you know.
truly just never ceases to amaze me how you've managed to collect all manner of incredible, impressive acts and
I'll call Miss Dance over.
well,
Hold on.
ah,
So it's
I
just
fear-
a flying... Right, it's just a flying horse, right?
I'm fearing being a bit introduced perhaps too far to how the sausage is made. I don't want to spoil the wonderment for myself. Your show was incredible, amazing, pull out all sorts of magical acts of wonder I couldn't have imagined. But
Miss Dancer, you have a fan.
then this dancer kind of straightens himself up, holds his head high, and looks down. Be wary of those you hold in such adoration, as a pursuit of footsteps unfollowable leads to a wandering life of aimlessness. I'm not even positive what exactly it's supposed to mean, but I'm sure wiser words are never spoken. It's...
It is the wisest
incredible.
Pegasus of the West.
Why do you even bother putting on shows? This
Because it's fun, of course.
I can't even begin to imagine the myriad stories that could be told by just a single one of your incredible members. But, by whatever gods I'm supposed to be praying to at this point. Shellen, it would be, I believe. What
one of those.
wonderments. But, please, Miss Selwyn, Hope this letter finds you in good spirits and aids you when you get to the Cleave. It's a fair day's journey up the Verdant Passage, but more stable roads you won't find. Should be easy going. And hopefully easy showing once you get there.
Nice.
See? I can put some of the words of poets in order if I put the mind to it.
And we're going up the squint. The Sadlats? This can't be right.
Next time. Well, it seems you've done a fair bit of planning yourself. Well, I'll leave you to it. I have other arrangements for the day, other obligations. Oh, I did promise you an introduction to the blacksmith. If you still wish that, I can help you out later in the afternoon. I'll be free sometime, about an hour past the sun's peak, maybe. You can find me up in my manor if you need, and I'll be working on some things, but more than happy to put time out of the day. But
you don't have a clerk that tells me to wait for several hours, do you?
Personal home, so...
Okay, that's good news. Good news.
You came by the other day. Of course, one of the fine family servants will probably greet you at the door, but they'll let you right in, just as they did the other evening. But, of course, feel no need to wait for my introductions. I mean, Bangers is the right and proper business, and this seems like simple personal work. I'm sure Nomok will be able to help you out with it perfectly easy.
Nomok? Was that his name?
Nomok, yes. Rather interesting fact, I suppose. Strange coincidence. No, much like yourself. A precious few of them around Kerrick.
One more time?
Well, he's one of the few regular gnomes.
No, the name. One more time.
Nomok. Master Nomok.
Nomok. Okay.
And he, I assume you writing that down, or are you just kind of committing it to memory here?
I'm just committing it to memory here.
Fair enough. So like, you can spell it out if you write it down on a paper or anything, but yeah. But Master Nomok, you can just come in, giving me order. He deals with all sorts of simple personal things. Not much weaponsmithing I've seen, but I'm sure he'll be interested to try.
Interested to try?
Well, he does largely, of course, tool repairs for a lot of the farming equipment and supplies, and forging. There's not much for swordsmen and hunters or standing armies around Kerrick, but he's done some work for the town guard, so he certainly knows his way around a blade.
I was hoping for a bit better. Is there no, I'm not going to say legendary swordsmiths around, but...
I may very well be underselling him. As I said, I'm no master of the craft myself. I know nothing of the ins and outs of smithing work, but he's been able to keep all the farms and all their equipments around Kerrick, and he's done a good amount of work for both the town guard and the Grange. I haven't seen a contract he hasn't been able to handle, but it can't hurt to check, I suppose. Surely he can show you samples of his own work and his quality. He does fine work. He's a veritable expert. I don't wish to run you off. It's just I don't wish to perhaps again this cold iron of yours. I'm unfamiliar, and I don't want to set expectations or promises that may not be able to be kept. I'd hope he can, but I'm making no guarantees on his behalf. I don't know his business.
Okay. Yeah, sure. We'll see you afternoon. We'll stop packing up the circus. We'll be back here a couple of weeks.
I very much look forward to it, and best of luck in your travels, Miss Selwyn. This has been possibly the best thing to happen to Kerrick in months, and I mean that wholeheartedly.
Well, thank you.
So
this has been great for us, too.
Takes his leave, heading back up to his other obligations for the day, leaving the group of you to, whatever ends. It's going to take a day or so to pack up everything from the circus to be ready for the road, but it sounds like Matt and Cleve, with your map and everything, is only a day's travel down the road. So perhaps even by tomorrow evening, you'll be arriving in the streets of a new village. But for today, obviously Selwyn wants to make her way down to the blacksmith at some point. What do the rest of you want to do?
I'm spending my day with Sniggles after I'm done hanging out with Cubby in the morning.
Is the blacksmith in Matt and Cleve?
No,
this blacksmith Bangers is in Kerrick. He said there are also blacksmiths in Matt and Cleve, but there's one primary blacksmith. There are several large smithing forges in the port section of Kerrick, but they're all contracted out. They all work for the merchant consortiums and the sailor fleets that do all of the shipping and everything from Absalom and Diobel. They are they aren't a place you can like just walk into and ask for some work done. They have a job to do with all the ships coming to and fro. But Bangers is a town smith here in Kerrick that is just a standard smithy anyone can visit and walk into.
Well, Arbus, as I was watching you sleep last night, I happened to notice...
What do you mean you watched
well,
me?
Of course. I try to always watch you sleep. Didn't you know that?
Well, I dozed off in the field with the wolves, my pack, and I just stayed there.
I had noticed that. You looked rather restless. Normally sleep quite well.
Well, no, not recently. It's been more of a sometimes I have nightmares. I told Selwyn about them, and she says it happens. You have nightmares, but they're oddly specific. It's like.
Are they happening more recently? Is it after the Aeon Towers?
Oh, it appears to be a bit more frequently than I would like. I worry. Sometimes I can't tell if I'm dreaming or how do I say? Sometimes I see things even while we're like fighting stuff, but that's. I don't know what to really say about it, honestly. It's just, I keep seeing a woman that looks like me, but is not me. Does that make sense to you?
It makes all the sense to me. I don't know if it would make sense to you. I've had an interesting experience as we have moved further from the working Aeon Tower. Things have changed quite a bit as I was unconscious, as you guys would call it. I've learned quite a bit. Haven't quite gotten it all figured out yet, but we shall see.
What do you mean? What have you learned?
Well, I don't think I was supposed to leave the first Aeon Tower. I think I was supposed to stay there. As I moved further away, the weaker I got. And as when we got to the circus, I was much slower, I would say, reverting into tree form more often than not, as I am doing now. And as I did it after we killed that one snake woman, and I was able, as I turned into a tree, I was able to take some of her energy and use her nutrients to become alive again. It did take me a while to figure that out, though. I find it very odd and interesting.
This is a pretty cool trick. I can't do that. I can turn into a wolf, though.
It is very interesting. It's a very efficient way of using nutrients, I would say, and one that we can maybe use. It's a very alluring scent, though, so we will see as we move along whether it's more or less tied to the Aeon Towers or not.
Do you think my nightmares are tied to Tower?
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting, as I was having more trouble moving away from the original Aeon Tower, and I thought it might be something that was tied to you also.
She's very angry. I know this every time I see.
Well, I guess we will move forward and see how it goes from here.
Part of me thinks that it's not just a dream, but Selwyn thinks just dream.
I have my doubts on whether it's a dream. But we cannot prove one way or the other until it comes to a head, and at some point I'm sure it will.
Yeah, I worry though. If it is, that's could be very bad.
There's no use worrying about something that we cannot tell already. And sometimes, the wind will blow where it wants, and there's nothing we can do about it.
You're right. We have no control over the breeze.
Quite. Well, we will move out sometime, either today or tomorrow, and work our way up the coasts. We will see the next Aeon Tower and see how it is faring.
We should. And we mosey on to the group.
Well, with the morning passing into the afternoon, Selwyn, are you going to wait for Dolphin to give you the introduction at Bangor, or are you just going to head over and look yourself?
I'm going to head over, have a cheeky little look.
So it's not difficult to find at all. And is anybody going with her? Out of the blacksmith? I need to ask about the blacksmith artist.
No, I'm not. I'm not interested in going. I was just curious if it was in Mattencleave.
No, it's here. So as you make your way down, it's fairly easy to find. It's not too far in out of the port region of Kerrick. Somewhat centralized, a good few minutes walk away from the market square where you guys are set up. A fairly humble, smallish building for a smithy, with the fairly reasonably sized stone forge set outside the building entirely, in a fenced-in lot, strewn about with different anvils, large pots of different liquids, and various interesting assorted devices for smithing very fine bits of work, or very massive sized blades or bits of metal work for large farm equipment, or bits of rakes and plows pulled by animals. And the front door is left closed, but a sign hanging in front of it with the word Bangers in between a hammer and an anvil indicates that the shop is open. And as you step inside, you see it looks like it's run by a single gnome, much as Dolphin had told you. Gnomes, it's kind of hard to estimate how old they are, really, because you don't age traditionally.
Hey, show of hands. How old does everyone think I am?
How would that be a show of hands?
Yeah, if I mean, show of opinions, show of thoughts. I don't know.
Guess Selwyn's age.
Like
64.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow, she
12.
looks ancient to you.
Oh, 12. Yikes.
13.
Whoa,
Well,
what do
maybe
you-
she's like in her hundreds now. Maybe this is like.
I'll go
Maybe
Price is
Zerg's on the
Right.
right track.
Yeah, what do you think, Master?
I'm going with Price is Right rules, and because Zerg went 64, I'm gonna go 65.
Well, you're closer.
Yes.
Intentionally obscured for myself as well, but she is over 100.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
The one is not
Imagine
simply...
someone not maturing in all that time.
Yeah. Right.
Gnomes never do.
One does not simply guess the age of a gnome.
Yeah.
But he seems somewhat small, even for a gnomish standard. His hair, not so much unkempt as just kind of brushed back, almost just swept back straight over his head, but stark white, as are his eyebrows, which trail well off the side of his head, several inches off of his brow. He's sat at a fairly small desk with a bit of some, but almost just looks like raw lump metal with one edge exposed, held in a vise, that he has a monocle clamped onto the edge of the table, held up in front of, and he's running a stone over the edge of this exposed blade. As you come in, very kind of slowly raises his head up to look towards you. Welcome to Bangers. You have something you need fixed or commissioned?
You're sounding chipper. You're about to bleach.
Rare sight to see another gnome in Kerrick. Not many take to a life of merchantry, those that choose to sail. You're one of the circus, I presume?
Yes.
Seems clear enough. Near to it, or possibly into it. Who can tell? Not exactly a lot of tomes written on the specifics of the process. But
Do you like
This
a
is-
drink or something?
no, I'm sorry if my tone offends, but
No, it doesn't. It's just very sad to see a sad gnome. Like,
I would hardly see myself as sad.
if you're bleaching,
is-
you're sad.
Well, if this is the bleaching that's so spoken of, then it's not nearly as terrible as many believe it to be. I just see my life as simple. No complaints about it, really.
Ugh.
Anyway,
uh,
you've come more than
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't here to chat shit. Honestly, I apologize.
it's no offense. I understand that it's well, the few occasions I do get to see traveling gnomes, they react much the same. The real thing built up in a lot of tiny heads, this bleaching. He puts the whetstone down and just kind of turns in the stool. To face you more directly. And the hair makes it rather hard to hide.
Right. Do you have much experience with what's the word for it? It's not swordsmanship because that's the act of wielding the sword, but sword forging, swordcraft.
Swordcraft, bladecraft. No need for fancy names to explain for simple desires. Of course, I'll work the blades, long swords, and arrow tips for the town guard as necessary. Fletch the end of their bolts, though they spend much of their days unused. Occasionally, passing sailors or merchants need work on more esoteric things. And, we kind of motion the thing at the vise here. It's easy to look down on the humble work of tools of farmers, but large blades take much finer hands and harder work than smaller ones, if truth be told. Keeping an edge across a piece of steel several feet wide and long is much more difficult than, he just kind of gestures, short swords like what you bear.
Right. Do you have much experience forging cold iron or working with cold iron? Do you have any cold iron?
Not here at the moment, not anymore. But a strange coincidence you come asking. You're with the circus, right?
Correct.
So Ryanair didn't send you.
The name doesn't ring a bell immediately. No?
Well, I've worked with cold iron only once in my life, and it was a few weeks past to work a dagger. Just strange that the second request I've seen in my lifetime comes chasing so shortly after. But no, I'm afraid I don't have any in stock. Not around. It's, well, not just rare, but entirely unheard of for farmers needing shovel heads forged of cold iron, so...
Well, yeah, they're not gonna go smacking demons, are they? Where would I get some, or where would I find someone who does do that stuff?
Sort of asking some of the merchant consortiums down in the ports or the dock masters if any's been shipped through or around. When that dagger was commissioned, he brought the metal to work himself. He came down here to have it forged, but he was headed up to the Matin Cleave. May worth be inquiring there. Perhaps he has more, and perhaps he's willing to sell.
Sounds good, actually, yeah. I think I'll stop by the docks and then I'll work my way to Matin Cleave.
Fair enough. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't be of assistance, but
Oh, you could. Thank you very
Right.
much.
clientele is typically far humbler and simpler in their desires. Work it if I had some to work for you. But hopefully the docks bear fruits. If that's all, though, I've much work to do.
Of course. Thank you for your time.
Of course, if you've any further needs of simpler steel, happy to do what I can. Picks his whetstone back up, readjusts this little knotted monocle, and just goes back to running it down this blade. Same way each time. A terribly repetitive and mundane activity, it seems.
I'm afraid worse than death.
So it seems like you're not easily going to be able to track down any cold iron here in Kerrick. But, or here in this blacksmith, rather. But you can head down to the docks, and there are several storehouses run by the merchant consortiums that ship cargo to and from, sometimes with excess, or sometimes with things that get chartered or shipped wrong places. Basically a surplus store for the various shipping companies of Absalom. And there, you would actually have no real difficulty tracking down some workable cold iron. So you're trying to make a short sword, correct?
Yes.
So you're going to need, realistically, probably not very much. I believe there's rules for this, but I don't know them off the top of my head.
Yeah. Cold iron, Pathfinder 2e. I think it's almost like there is a specific for equipment.
Yeah, but actually this one I don't know like at all, so I would just be absolutely winging putting something on here. So if you're going to be making a blade out of something like that,
20 gold, right? Like a cold iron object per bulk.
right, and it's a single short sword, and yeah, that seems like it's, I guess it's not super, yeah, I mean, that's relatively expensive, and I guess cold iron's not super hard to get a hold of. So yeah, you'd probably need about two cold iron chunks. Because short swords is a single bulk, right? 20 gold pieces.
It is light, yes.
Oh, it is light, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, even go with 10 gold pieces then, just a single cold iron chunk. Because it's not like the blade has to be forged straight of pure cold iron, it gets alloyed in. So,
in that case, I would like to make it my personal quest to find medium grade. Is that possible? Because if I only need half, I can justify stealing 125 gold from the party coffers.
okay. It is a 7th level item for standard grade cold iron, and Kerrick is a pretty big port city. Why don't you...
We're rolling dice, finally.
We're rolling dice, my boy. Why don't you... I don't know if I want you to just roll a flat check, or... Just roll a flat check.
Damn it. I wanted a diplomacy.
It's more on whether or not it's there. Like,
right. No! Why does this always happen? Why is it always a one? I'm essentially, obviously we're essentially re-rolling. But
there's
Not
no
only
way
is there
that
not any, there has never been any in the
no one in this
entire...
port's ever heard of cold iron. Like,
what the
this isn't something they ship.
How do I always roll a hot one on my first roll? How does this always happen?
It is
seems to be very
terrifyingly consistent, yeah.
Oh,
Wow!
Okay,
no!
Wow!
The dice hate you!
Can I, as a special case, use a hero point for the sadness?
I will make it
just
clear
let me
that
1, 2, and 3.
out of pure pity, I will allow you to use a second fortune effect and spend a hero point to re-roll that a second time.
I'm going to fucking cry. Okay, so
If you
there
roll
are
a
2
3
victories here. Yeah, is that a crit success? Just make the 20 into the 3.
Oh!
No!
God, no!
Wow!
you kidding me? What?
1, 2, 1. Well, I think God has clearly spoken. As you
God
look
has
around
spoken.
the surplus of the ports, here in Kerrick, the things that are transported here are simple goods and tools that the farming community really needs. And what gets shipped out of Kerrick most of the time is lumber from Turpin Row, fruit, grain, vegetables, and livestock.
And my
There's
dream.
no real transportation of cold iron that is happening through here. And searching through the surplus storages and the markets in town, you...
I've somehow managed to like floor up the low grade too. That's gone as well.
Yeah, I mean, you it's not a common, I mean, it is like mechanically common, but it's not a material that Kerrick would really have in any abundance or really any access at all. You would be wholly unable to find any cold iron goods here in the port.
We're going to Matt and Cleve. We'll find it.
I think you've actually, like this, I'm pretty sure that you have rolled cold iron out of existence. Like, I think that's... like, it's a forgotten material of the world in this adventure. So Selwyn is spending her day cruising the markets, and Arabis and Ara are having their talks. Ara's hanging out with Sniggles. Zerg, what are you doing today? You got a day of prep before you hit the road?
Zerg is hiding around the campgrounds.
Fucking aw, dude.
Nothing has ever stricken such true fear. It's a Zerg, Betsy.
Like, if he needs to go take a piss, it's like, have a little look around the corner, run up behind a tree, check behind the tree again, run off to get some food, but make sure there's no one there, or a reasonably large crowd.
I think you can hide within. So this is something that certainly would not really be lost on Ilva. So at some point in the afternoon, after you trying to dart in and snipe a really small, not Zerg-approved quantity of food for your lunch and quickly hurry back to your wagon, she would open the door to your wagon and come inside to join you. Zerg.
Yes.
Has some madness taken you?
Yes. No, I'm fine.
If I gave wrong impression last night, I was only trying to ensure that you knew.
No, it's not you. It's
But
not
I
you. You're good. No, he's fine. I really appreciate what you say. And like sort of looking out the door of the caravan.
Turn, look at the door, and close it behind her.
No, it's not you. You're wonderful.
Did you steal something?
No, come on. What do you think? I'm a thief? No, I'd not steal nothing. No.
I do not think you are a thief. Did you kill someone? Does their family
Today?
hunt you?
No. Not today. Or yesterday. No, it's been some time.
Well, if you insist, Zerg, I only fear you are acting, well, strange today.
Okay. Just to like gauge how she's gonna react if I was to tell Ilva. Because big circus now is getting lots of attention. People recognize Zerg on street is something like a famous. Is very exciting, very good, lots of money.
It is exactly as being famous. You have made an incredible impression on the people of this port.
So, you know, I only care about you. You are for me, and I do not want anybody else. You know this. But sometimes with famous people think, oh, Zerg, I love Zerg. Zerg is great, even though I do not want this. How you feel about this?
I feel as though I have never heard so little said in so many words. That... Did... Zerg, you speak this nonsense, and I don't know what to make of it.
How would you feel if somebody seemed to want Zerg, even if Zerg don't not want them?
Oh, I am sure there are many throughout this town who wish they could have
Yes.
someone as mighty as Zerg Batsky.
You wouldn't blame Zerg for this because Zerg cannot help this. He doesn't want this. It's not Zerg's fault.
I cannot blame you. I could not blame them. I mean, look at you. It is a fool who does not lust after such perfection.
Oh, you getting a little bit green blushy. Like, oh, you stop it. You stop this. Okay. What
Zerg,
if?
I fear you are... Here, let me... There is a story. You know that my people tell many stories. Many of what is on my skin is stories. But there is a tale of a man that is a story that is not ours, but one that I have heard and I have collected all the same. It was of a traveler. He went from town to town, solving problems, slaying monsters, saving people's lives, families, businesses. And he wrote a book down, like most people of the wide world beyond where I come from, to record his tale in words. His name, Zekin. He had many of these tales. And in his journeys, as his renown grew, and everywhere he went, knew of his tales and his exploits and his adventures. He had, well, much of these grew with him. And it is simple consequence, perhaps, of this fame. It is something that will come as our circus grows to all of us, much like Zekin did in his 1,000 Tales and 1,000 Travels. But that it only means that this is renown, this is fame, this is impression that you have made on the hearts and minds of these people, that they believe so much, not just in Zerg, but in idea of Zerg.
I like this. You're very wise. You tell good stories. I like these stories. I like this. Okay. So what do I do?
You are the big, strong monster man Zerg. What do you mean, what do you do? There's nothing you have to do. They are not going to throw themselves at you, and if they do, they are certainly not stronger than you.
Mostly true, yes. And if they do throw self at self, what do? What do I? How do I? I'm not good at this, Ilva.
It is okay, Zerg. Truth be told, the story of Zekin and how his tales proceed is perhaps not best guidance for this. Because when women throw themselves at Zekin, he catch them?
Oh.
You see, he did not have something as we have. He enjoyed all the facets of his newfound fame. So, rarely do I not have some stories or parables or tales to tell, but fame is not a problem that my family has ever found themselves with.
Believe me, it's new to me as well. Okay, so you think I just thank you, but no thank you to everybody who is like, Zerg, I love Zerg, what to be with Zerg?
I suppose that you, if you express no interest and still they persist, then you... Well, I suppose you cannot fight them. This is a strange problem.
Tell me about it.
I am not sure, Zerg. But
Oh, shit.
all problems have solutions, and surely there is someone that we can ask. Why don't you ask Selwyn? She seems to do big thinking on large problems, and she runs whole of circus. She must have this same issue. I am sure that all of the men in the town throw themselves at her for her work and her fame.
If they throw themselves at Selwyn, she get crushed and die. I don't think they do this. Very small.
She is
But I
small,
see your point.
strange gnome. Maybe not. Well, what about your friend with the wolves? What about Aramis? She is human woman, and she does the dancing for her circus. Surely the dancing largely used to attract interest and to draw mates. She must have this problem.
Yes. Definitely. I think I go ask everybody what to do. They know more about this situation than I do. Yes. I ask for help. You're
I
very
am
good help.
Sideshow.
Thank you so much.
My interest is simply being what I am, and the tails I have on my skin, my head, my arms, my back, all of the stories that have been inscribed upon me. I do not attract the same awe as you and the rest of the main performers. They perhaps have better answers for you.
Yes. I go get answers. Thank you so very much, Ilva. You're the best. You're fantastic. You're the best. Best
Do
thing
not
that ever
worry
happened to
yourself
Zerg.
so much on these problems, Zerg. It is not as though they can force themselves upon you.
Very true. Sometime you'll have to tell me this story again, and I'll slap her on the ass, and out we go.
Back in control, baby.
And I suppose there, as we have the rest of the day here to ready our things, get our caravan riled back up, the tent pulled down, the wagon's ready to hit the road, following Oath Day. It's a good time to take our break. We take our stream break, go get some snacks, use the bathroom, while our characters finish their travel preparations, readying themselves to hit the road when we return. To leave Kerrick, head outwards to Matt and Cleve, the greater adventures, and see what we can find. Stay tuned, everybody. It's amazing how many problems we can set forth without having to roll any dice. And it's amazing how many problems the dice will make immediately by being rolled. So
Three
maybe
of
the
them.
secret
Come on,
is to
man.
roll as few dice as physically possible, and that's how you play
heart.
Pathfinder.
I'm going to cry.
We'll be right back, everybody. Don't go too far. Here's some highlights, at least, to enjoy while we're gone. We're dealing with in Kerrick. It's a far cry from having to, murder Mistress Dusklight and fight a shitload of trogs and demons and stuff. This is very different. Zerg specifically dealing with some very different problems these days.
He's having a lot of issues in character.
Got him. But as we return, another day passes, and as the sun rises on this Oath Day afternoon, it's time for us to make our adventure out to Matt and Cleve. It's only going to be like a day journey, so it's not terrible. But that said, it is a bit moist outside. The morning brings with it some mild showers, more than a sprinkle, but pretty far from a downpour. And as you finalize your stuff, ready your wagons, make sure everything's packed and prepared to go, it doesn't seem like it's going to instantly let up anytime in the immediate future. But such is life. We can't control the weather. Not until Arbus gets another couple of levels, at least.
And then
Spoilers.
So, you ready? round up the wagons, and introductory letter in hand, head out onto the road. Let me bring us back over to Ye Olden Swardlands map. We're on the Swardlands map, but this is the Swardlands. This is the Don't Doodle on it Swardlands map, which is different from the Doodle on it
The
Swardlands
game
map.
version.
You are going to be making your way up the verdant passage here, out of Kerrick, along really the only actual road that cuts through the Swardlands, because it really is just a big scattered farming community. They've got farm paths and trails that wagons can make their way down, and carts can bring goods from the outlying settlements, but it's not like a road. Merchant caravans don't make their way up and down it. They're not typically really heavy use. This, however, gives you a great opportunity to just, well, and it's even much more of a road than anything you would have had on the Isle of Arran outside of what was passing through the main thoroughfare of Escadar itself. It's nice. It's easy, it's very green, and it's coastal. It's peak wind and the waves experience as you make your way down through the lightly wooded expanse out of the town of Kerrick and towards the bridge that crosses the mouth of the Husna River as it lets out into the inner seas itself. As you go underway this morning, what's everybody doing? You got a big old caravan. Right? So you have, at this point, 2 different wagons with either some of your talents or a whole lot of your supplies, all the things you need to set up your big top, your merchant stands, your tickets, all have to do your acts. It's a pretty big operation. So what are you all doing as you move this massive caravan down the road on the way to Matt and Cleve? Selwyn, what is your job, I suppose?
Mine specifically, I am in my wagon, and I am working on branding. I'm trying to figure out a slogan, and like the something nice and inviting, something to bring people in.
All right, so
actually
you're in your actual wagon as everything's getting drawn along, just writing up.
I hate manual labor.
Yeah. Why would I walk when I could not walk?
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Arvis?
I would suspect for a majority of the trip, walking outside, skipping at most times next to the caravan, looking up into the sky, almost dancing at times, just having a ball out in the rain, getting soaked.
For sure.
Yep.
But what about Barkbeard?
So along the road, is there like a tree line next to it, or is it basically just open?
For most of the way, you're passing through farms. Because the whole of the Swardlands, while it's not like majorly built up, it's not like a city, it is all settled. It's called the Verdant Passage for a good reason. It's all incredibly fertile farming areas. So for almost the entire passage, you have large sweeping fields, either of cows or sheep or various plant harvests, vegetable and fruit harvests on at least one side of you, if not both. So there's typically a fence running down at least one side, and it's all like treated and populated to some extent, just empty and just open.
And what pulls the carriages, by the way?
You
Is
guys
it
would
like,
have a shitload of like draft horses and oxen.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, you've got stuff pulling your wagons.
Okay. Yeah, well, I figured. I just didn't know what.
You pull the
It's
wagons,
Zerg.
Barkbeard.
It's Zerg.
It's Zerg.
Jack yourself up and start walking. Yeah, as
Okay,
part of your
well, I would
operation, you definitely
actually-
have like 24 draft animals. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm gonna be moseying through. It's kind of an interesting procession. So I'm going to be moseying in between the carriages because I'm a pretty fast guy. Even just like walking, I can travel on land pretty well, and just kind of weave my way through the carriages. Just kind of taking notice of like little oddities, like just the general scenery. Kind of enjoying the traveling to a new area without any trees, which is super interesting.
There would be some trees, Like around
Well,
the
no,
edges.
but to me, like it's always interesting to be out of a forest because it's just
Oh, yeah,
such
it's very
it's
not
like
a forest.
moving from a desert to someplace that's like has grass. For me, it was crazy.
When you move from New Mexico to Florida, and you're
Yeah.
like, why is it green everywhere? What is happening?
Yeah, I didn't realize that grass grew outside of golf courses. Like, it was wild.
Yeah, that's fair, I suppose. Yeah, there would be some scattered trees throughout because even with the farm areas that are fenced in, a lot of them would have some growths of just little copses of either massive oaks or just smaller groups of trees that just bordering the edge of their land, just kind of as a barrier itself around the edge of a lot of the farmsteads, or to provide shade for the various livestock that are roaming the area. So it's certainly no forest, but it's not completely devoid of trees either. Ara, what are you up to?
Ara is actually up with the lead wagon. Who's ever driving that, he's sitting next to, keeping company.
Yeah, I mean, the lead wagon realistically would be Selwyn's, because she's the ringmaster, so she'd be at the front of the profession. Yeah, the perks of the office.
Yep, he's riding with the lead wagon, not inside it.
Yeah, like
Thank God.
out, like with the actual driver.
Yep.
How about you, Zerg?
Zerg is muted. Zerg is eyeing Asha's.
Elephant's mad.
Yeah, just eyeing that, and like sort of just sidling along, walking. Got to keep fit.
Watching the elephant that's back behind you just doing elephant stuff. It's kind of the corner of your eye.
Just like
Now, it would
looking.
be...
When you
No,
want
we-
to dress the mammoth in the room, so to speak.
It would be relatively split. Of course, someone's not the only one riding in the caravans. A lot of the whole point of having wagons is that so a lot of people don't have to walk outside, especially with it being raining. Most of your performers, even most of your roustabouts that aren't actively driving the wagons or the other livestock you have, because you do have more than just the draft animals and the horses and oxen that are pulling these things. You have, well, a freaking Pegasus. You have an elephant that you had before Asha and Gigi, and now you also have Gigi. There's a decent amount of animals that also just have to walk behind the wagons. You're quite the impressive procession, really. 20-ish brightly colored circus wagons, and then like an elephant and a mammoth, some camels. Like, Bardolph is probably somewhere because he makes the wagon so heavy if he's inside it that it's just an incredible nuisance to pull. So when you're moving, he's probably out like in and out walking. He can't walk the whole time, but it's a hassle. He takes 2 oxen. Bardolph's a big boy. He's a large bear. But as you're making your way through the morning and into the early afternoon, the rain does start to break, fading first from this mild showers to just a scattered sprinkle before largely ceasing entirely, leaving you just walking under an overcast sky. And as you proceed down this road, though it is a much more major passage, it's almost as empty as the roads that you would have taken across the Isle of Arran. Every now and then, you pass a traveling individual farmer or cart loaded high with cabbages or barley, or a farmer working to lead numerous cows down the road in a just kind of general herd with a pair of dogs usually yapping around trying to assist keeping them vaguely on the road. Getting them past the caravan is always a huge nuisance because the cows are not super happy about it, and they're also really dumb. If you've never met cows, cows are spectacularly fucking stupid, and I can't imagine they do a great job with going past all of this with the mammoth and whatnot without throwing a stupid cow fit. But all is relatively easygoing, simple passage, and you're left with pretty much an entire day's journey just to make your way down the path with nothing but the pleasure of each other's company and your own thoughts.
Speaking of, as Zerg is walking, what's the order of the caravans here? Like, who's the
So
closest
ones would be
caravan
in the front, and with the professor having largely taken up the role of almost the circus quartermaster managing everything, The sideshows would actually be right behind that. And then it would just kind of be a trailing random assortment of your headliner acts heading down the way, largely off of seniority. So you'd have Tulip and Mordain behind that, and then the Dwarven Throwers and the Featherfall Five, trailing back out to like Asha and Dynan, near the back before the roustabouts and they're just straight supply wagons. Their wagons completely packed with all of your goods and kit, so all of the roustabouts as busier now even than they are during the actual shows. The movement is where you need them the most.
So in this, like, as Zerg's just sort of huffing along next to the thing, is gonna huff just a little bit faster and get up next to Selwyn's caravan and sort of knock on the door.
Enter?
Just sort of jump in and let myself in. Hello.
Oh, sir, this is a rare pleasure. What can I do for you?
Hey.
Oh, please sit down.
Yes.
I'll get up and like move some of my scattered notes, like it's a mess in here.
Even sitting in Selwyn's caravan, I'm kind of. Hello. I have a little problem I need some help with.
Okay, small problems are my specialty. What's up?
Okay, so you know, Ilva and me are you get
An item.
Yes, you understand this.
Mm-hmm.
There is like sort of looking back at the caravan just to make sure no one else is overhearing this conversation.
There's not like
Making sure the mammoth is way behind.
it just doesn't even have windows. You're like in an enclosed wooden wagon here.
Oh, it doesn't even.
the door,
Okay.
looks
Yeah.
back.
This isn't
close
like
the
a
door.
carriage. It's like a supply wagon for all of
Oh.
Selwyn's stuff and for her to move. These aren't like ye olden Victorian carriages. Like,
I'll open the door, then look back out, close it again.
You seem distraught.
Yes. Okay. So
There's nothing up between the two of you.
this me and Ilva, and there is someone else try to want Zerg, but Zerg over here with Ilva doing like.
Okay, And that's
Zerg does not
someone-
want this person.
right, and that someone is part of the circus, presumably.
That doesn't matter. We don't need to. What do I? If they were part of the circus, perhaps. How? Help, please.
Okay. You want to be with Ilva still? Yes.
Yes.
That's the correct assumption. Do you see this person as a friend, a colleague?
Both.
Oh, friend and colleague. Okay. So it is part of the circus. I'll give you a little cheeky grin. And so what's the issue here? She's or he? I don't judge.
Could be either one. Doesn't matter who.
Yeah. What's happening? What's the advances here?
They want Zerg to be doing the sex with them, and Zerg does not want to.
Oh, okay. Have you tried just saying no?
It's a little tricky.
How so?
Zerg is scared to say no to them.
Well, and I'll think for a second. It wouldn't happen to be Yasha, would it?
Shh! Don't say this.
Okay.
I didn't say this.
No, of course not.
It could be Barkbeard. You don't know. Shh.
I sincerely doubt it's Barkbeard. Even you are not that tasteless.
Hey, I'm irresistible. Okay, this is problem.
I think you would be able to say no to Barkbeard pretty easily. No,
These creepy little branch hens, they scare me too.
yeah, agreed. You're not even the target. I think sometimes in life, you have to do something, even if the prospect's scary. And if you still want to be with Vilva and you still see this person as a friend, colleague at the lot, you're gonna have to be upfront and just say, that's my choice. That's how I've decided I want to live my life.
Okay. What else?
Pardon?
Never mind. Thank you, Selwyn. Good job. Open the door.
You're
jump
welcome.
out, shut the door behind me.
I hope I'm helpful. and I'll think in my head, kids these days. Am I right, Sylvie?
You would just kind of hear a bit of a giggle coming back as a response to that. Selwyn, what could quite possibly be truly hilarious?
I'm listening.
He sounds like he has plenty of problems with women. Nothing makes that more entertaining than even more of them. It'd be funny. Come on.
It would be, and yet I am very scared I will get punted to a wall.
On whose account? I could have that green friend of yours wrapped around my pinky finger within a day.
I believe you, given your proficient species and subculture.
I'd rather say I was born for this.
Yeah, I don't disagree. That's pretty good.
Look, all I'm saying is, if he wants a taste of real assertive woman problem, I can put his life better into perspective, perhaps.
You have my attention and my curiosity.
Well, look at it this way. And at that, you would hear an arrow loose from a drawn bowstring, followed by another pair afterward. Those of you outside the caravan, so everybody but Selwyn, as they're just gotten out here, would see a trio of arrows shoot into the road directly in front of you. Each of them, each of the shafts, fleshed with a bright bushel of colorful arrows at the end, struck near into the center of the road, about 20-ish feet in front of you. A woman's voice calls out from not too far up the road. "Was some show I hear you'd put on? Seems you made a fair bit of coin. Stand and deliver, the devil take your guts." And
I'll walk out of my caravan.
Out from the brush as Selwyn comes out of her caravan, steps forth a woman who is dressed up in very muted browns and greens, with bits of grass and leaves tied around her actual clothing, just to provide more to this subtle camouflage. And she's got a burlap mask drawn over her face, so you can't make out really any of her features besides her mouth and 2 small holes she can see through. She's got a massive, wide-brimmed brown hat hiding even further. And as she steps forward, she wields not one, but
goddamn cool.
It's a really sick art, actually. Her art's
Yeah.
awesome.
She's so fucking
I'm gonna
cool.
slap you guys with the full screen here, because this is actually
please.
I give Paizo credit for the sick Paizo art. Her art's fantastic. A pair of loaded crossbows, one in each hand. One held kind of down, almost loose in front of her, and one up over her shoulder. And she strides out to make herself clear in the center of the road while the driver of Selwyn's wagon, as this kind of ripples down the passage behind, brings all of your wagons kind of haphazardly to a staggered stop in the road.
I'll walk out, see the arrows in my pricey vans.
No, they're like shot into the road, like 20 feet in front of you. She's standing like right behind him.
Okay,
There's like 20, 30 feet off warning shots.
At least the psycho watches the merchandise. And I'll walk out and give it a little wave, give it a little bow. May I help you?
I'm certain you can. Hand over your cash box, or what's left of it, and there'll be no trouble. This need not be the scene of a murder, after all. Looks like quite an expensive operation you have.
I agree, except not in the way you probably think. If you walk away now and don't ask me for my money again, there won't have to be a murder. Yours. Could you just scoot over?
And she motions with her crossbow to either side of the road as you see a half dozen more bandits poke out from around trees and up out of bushes, each with arrows drawn in their bows, trained largely on you at the head of the caravan here. And she takes one step forward, still about 30 feet back away from you, all of you in your head wagon. It's quite
But
simple.
They're all lined up.
They're on both sides of the road.
Yeah.
Then they're actually kind of scattered too. Each of them with 15 to 20 feet between them, because it's not that much tree cover.
Right.
Keep your hands away from your weapons. Well, we can see them. You. She points with a hand crossbow down towards Selwyn. If you're so eager to talk, you can be the one to fetch us the coins.
Selwyn,
What?
what are we doing?
Well, if they exist, I can.
Selwyn,
Or what?
what are we doing?
For fuck's sake! Excuse me, one moment.
Selwyn,
God damn it!
is this a friend of yours?
I rather
No.
think there's not much to discuss. It's a fairly simple situation. And hell, if I'm going to put this much effort into it, drop your purses in the road too.
I don't.
I just yell, I don't have a purse.
I also do not have a purse.
Come and get it.
Don't have purse.
If you could just train those two crossbows on me, one in each eye. Chef's kiss. Now, you're making me two bad offers here. One, you want to take my money. Two, you want to take more of my money.
Keep your show. Will bring no harm to you, your goods, your animals. You can make more on Mountain Cleave down the road. If you're as good as we here, should be easy.
I feel like I would rather bring harm to you before I actually hand over my money, because it is, as I said, my money. So how about you scoot over, Pocahontas, and we'll just be on our way. And I would like
Yourself, I suppose.
I would like to intimidate. Group coercion.
And you are
if
gonna
I'm
be.
allowed.
You can give a group coercion before we roll initiative here, because unless you if you spectacular mode this, maybe.
All right.
But she's at the shoot phase of the engagement.
I mean,
here.
realistically, I would be too.
So let's bring us over here
Excuse me, character sheet. Would you like to open
to a
today?
nice map. You can also just hit C.
Oh,
I'm
that's
trying.
nice
That's
map.
what. That's not what's working. That is
Oh.
what's not working. Sorry.
Reload page.
Oh, what a nice map.
Spectacular idea.
Character sheet. Up and running.
There we go. Thank you. You're a genius.
My spirit's really initiative already.
Well, he
Calm
knows
down,
we're
it
gonna
doesn't
roll
do
another
anything
two
if I haven't
ones.
started combat yet.
Damn it!
Oh,
I thought I was
okay.
just about to too.
I didn't realize we're supposed to wait.
Oh, it actually does. That actually did put it on there.
All right, a 39.
Good God.
Use your dice.
It
Hey,
is.
39. With your group coercion here, is absolutely going to make an impact on the group in front of you. So you are what, a master?
I am a master, which is 8 people.
So you can group coerce everybody. That's gonna be enough. It's not demoralize. It's to coerce.
No,
them.
it's not.
It's gonna bring the woman to the head of the road here, leading these bandits to firing. But the rest of them are going to be shaken enough that I am definitely going to give them all a -2 on their initiative, as they are not super into the going because this tiny gnome is weirdly freaking terrifying.
Nice.
And they don't want to get super murdered. With that, though, I do need everyone to roll me some initiative.
Hell yeah. And then let's see. That's perception. Okay, click the right button.
Oh, I get the crossing out is everyone who's rolled, so it's showing me who hasn't rolled yet.
Oh, nice.
So many big dice on the screen. I can't stop it.
And as part of my initiative,
Gotta roll
I would
Oh
like
my
to
god, I literally can't.
look at the closest person over yonder here, and we'll give him a mean glare and say, "Was I unclear? Could you fuck off?" And I'd like to battle cry him.
Which guy was that?
The one immediately to my right.
Okay.
For 32.
32 is absolutely going to very succeed. Let me scroll back down to this man real quick. That's going to critically succeed. That man is...
So he is frightened.
Yep, he's spooked. He's not happy about it.
No, he's not.
Give this nice man a frightened dose. Alright, how do I'm going to spend a villain point on the leader here. How do I remove their initiative if I hypothetically wanted to re-roll it?
Presumably just roll it over him if you can.
I can get a character sheet open, and I suppose...
If you click roll initiative again.
Well, because roll initiative, it's a d20 next to the NPCs that haven't rolled it, and I just go down the line and click all the d20s. But it's not a d20 anymore because she's rolled now. So I guess I can just roll perception for her and then put it in manually.
There's probably a way.
I'm sure there is a way, but I don't know what it is.
There's a way to replace the initiative on their chart because I've done it. I can't remember.
I can double click on the number and I can put anything I want in there. So I just manually re-rolled it and I'm just going to replace it with that. Alrighty. Commence combat. Barkbeard, you are the first to react here. As these bandits...
and I'll look... So I'll look at the guy that's closest to me down south, kind of on the left. And well, trees are not always the safest to hide behind. And I'm going to reach out some tentacles. Tentacles? Vines. That's not tentacles. Roots. That's what I mean to say. Roots is what I mean to say. And I am going to try and cast Tanglefoot.
I was going to say you are reaching him from how far away? Oh, but you're casting. That makes no sense. So this is also because we're going to do real combat now. Super cool features of Foundry. Control, click, and drag gets you immediately to the ruler. Ruler is also an easily accessible tool up on the top left. And it shows you, like, if you were to move or whatever, exactly what squares you would be passing through on the way to that point to get the minimum possible distance. That's
Control,
really cool.
click, drag is what
Control, click, or you can just click the ruler tool up in the top left.
Okay. So, not that I've never cast this before, but I have never cast this before. Is Tanglefoot like they make a save?
Tanglefoot, I believe, is a
attempt a
touch.
spell attack.
Yep. If you gotta whap them with it.
Okay. Well, if I have to move over there anyways, that seems like a lot of work.
Well, it's a 30-foot range, isn't it? You should be able to just click it in your little log, and it should put all the spell text in the chat for you here.
Yeah, I think if you click the picture, it puts it in the log, and then there's like to roll it is a separate area. I forget.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the range on it.
It's 30 foot.
Oh, it is
At
30.
least.
Okay, that's what I
It's
thought.
at least, yeah.
Okay, so I can just...
Yeah, the range is in the tags down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Neat.
And then it's got the attack button you can just click on in the bottom of the actual spell entry and it'll roll it for you.
Ah, I see.
There you go.
A 32.
A 32 is going to critically hit.
Okay, so critical success, a target is immobilized and takes a minus 10 foot speed, I think. And so I'm going to be like, so these roots are just gonna kind of snake up his legs and just kind of immobilize him, I guess it was. And then as I do it, I'm going to tear off some of the bark from off of my face and bring it up around me as a shield.
Okay. I know you can do this, but I haven't figured it out. There is Raised Shield is 100% a thing that you can do in Foundry, but by God, I don't know how.
Didn't I add the macro to the...
You did add the
folder?
macro. So it's in the macro folder. I can throw it on you right now.
Yeah.
Barkbeard does not have a shield equipped, so we can sort that out later. He'd have a shield on Barkbeard's character sheet. So here's your shield's raised.
Yep.
Alright. Arvis.
Okay, this is... A minute ago, I'm just sort of hanging out. Now everything's going south rather quickly, and I see Barkbeard.
We're actually going north, but okay.
I wish
Like
I could
northeast.
just
This stretch
slap
throughout north, though.
you. Looking at the one to the northwest, in the woods over here. Yes. We both did this. I'm gonna.
I was just gonna say for chat again, we are all still learning Foundry a lot. This is the first like real combat we've had in Foundry, so this is still learner time. So bear with us. This platform is super cool, but it definitely is a learning curve because it's very different also.
Casing the surroundings, hands out to sides, narrow my gaze on the guy up here to the northwest. Swirling dark cloud and a crack of lightning as I Tempest Surge him. Huzzah!
Alrighty.
Does it roll? It did not. Okay,
It should
but
be.
yeah.
Oh right, because
Okay.
it's not an attack. Yeah, there's the damage. The damage button is there.
Yeah.
So then
that's
you do,
good.
that puts in the chat, and then you click the damage button.
I was just trying out the hot bar to see if it worked, and it does that. Okay, and then I click the damage button, and we got that. There we go. That's cool.
He is going to make a reflex save. He is going to get a 25, which is a fail.
That's a fail. Clumsy 2 for 1 round, and it's 5 persistent electricity damage at this point. After I hit him with that, I'm gonna pull up my shield. Do the same thing. Raise shield. Howard.
All right, now you have a shield on your character sheet, so you can use the raise shield macro. It's in the macro folder, and it will give you that little icon that will change your AC and your token and everything. Okie dokie. And then you can, I forgot this on Barkbeards, you can end your turn. You do that now.
Correct. I can. End turn. Bang. I think.
Alrighty. So this bandit closest to the leader, up to the northeast here, he is going to... he's already got his bow drawn. It's not even he is going to draw his bow. As he raised up briefly to just as the show of force, hoping you would all stand down. Clearly you have not. So he is going to first attempt to hide again, concealing himself back in the brush. And does anybody have a perception DC of higher than 35? I imagine no. You'd have to have a plus 25 to your perception.
I definitely do.
Okay. Well, you can still see him then.
No, I
But
can't.
For everybody else, he is going to disappear back down into the brush. And then arrows are going to fly forth from this brush. He seems to be very well trained at this kind of hide and strike tactic, as even as the arrows fly forth from his position of concealment, it's not immediately apparent where exactly they're coming from or where exactly he is. This first shot is going to fly towards Selwyn for a 30 to hit.
That is a hit.
Alrighty, and that, as it strikes you, you again can't very effectively. Oh yeah, it's not GR anymore. Hey, spoiler, he's got that much sneak attack. You can't really see exactly where he's coming from anymore.
Is he, wait. Is he sneak attacking me?
Oh yeah.
Because I believe I have something with the
I think
name
you
Deny
do.
Advantage.
Deny advantage.
Oh, very nice.
You're not flat-footed, which means he does not get the sneak attack against you. But the arrows that he's firing seem to have odd tips. And in fact, the shaft of the arrow itself is much wider around than an arrow typically is, causing it to punch through you with much greater impact than a normal arrow. Now, you're not going to take sneak attack, so you're just going to take 12 points of damage. And I need you to make me a fortitude save.
Wait, no. It's illegal. How dare you use poison? Oh, wait. Oh, nay. Alright, poison me.
22 passes, actually.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Always greedy.
The second of these shots is going to fly out towards Zerg for a 27 to hit.
Yeah.
And you're not
That'll hit.
flat-footed because deny advantage. So he also doesn't get sneak attack against you.
He's gotta be pissed.
He's mad. Be honest, you know he's mad. This is going to strike you as well for 12 points of damage, and much the same as the thing I just told to Selwyn. I'm gonna need you to make me a fortitude save, as this wide arrow hits with a pretty surprising amount of force. The trade-off is it doesn't pierce nearly as deeply as an arrow should.
Hang on, just trying to figure. Is there a quick way to remove health, or do I have to math it out myself?
I did it.
He's
Oh, you
doing
did it for me.
Oh,
Yep, you see how I rolled the
the.
damage, then I selected your token, and I just applied the damage to you. There's no numbers anymore. I just
Oh, that's fun for you. Damn.
That's great. Okay,
yeah, it's
so
actually, and then you can highlight yourself, and your
fortitude.
bar has been reduced slightly.
Yeah.
even less.
27 on the fortitude.
I like
At
those
27,
guys.
as this hits you, you two aren't going to suffer any further effects. So this guy is immobilized against the tree and bleeding on the other side of the road here. He, too, is going to try to duck back behind the tree for cover and take cover and hide himself. But first, he's got to get himself out of these tanglefoots because he came out into the open. So he's going to attempt to escape from this tanglefoot, which I believe is against your spell DC. With a 24. I have no idea what your spell DC is, Markbeard.
My spell DC. Oh my goodness. It's much more complicated than I thought.
It's 21. Oh, 23 for your
23.
arcane spells. Yep. So he is going to succeed. He's going to manage. He's still bleeding from the, electricity that blasted him. But he's still clumsy. But he is no... Oh, he's not the immobilized one. I'm stupid. The immobilized one's at the bottom.
Yeah. That sounds
Dang
fun,
it.
yeah.
It's a very similar icon because he's clumsy and it's the same foot. I thought it was the immobilized. That was on me. I screwed up. So he's actually just going to take cover. Then that instead... I'll just use the same roll. Would be a 24 to hide, which I don't know whose stealth DCs that beats. Or perception DCs. Anyone have a perception modifier of lower than 14?
Me.
No.
Stupid noob.
Is it everybody but Selwyn?
Yeah,
No,
mine's-
that's Aura. I have a higher.
That's why
above-
everybody but Selwyn doesn't have plus 14
I've got
perception?
15.
Oh.
Yeah, I have 15.
I'm a
Thank
big
you.
14 as well.
Zerg
Yeah.
should have a high one too.
Yeah, I think it's just Aura who's lower.
What is your perception modifier?
My perception modifier is 13.
You dumb potato. Well, you can't see him anymore, but everybody else can. as he ducks back from cover here, he is also going to loose forth a pair of arrows. The first towards Arbus, as she is simply the closest, striking at you for a 34 to hit.
Ooh, that hits. Yes.
You can still see him, so he doesn't get sneak attack damage because he didn't successfully hide from you. This arrow is just going to catch you for 13 points of damage. I need a fortitude save. And while you're rolling out, the second arrow is coming out towards Aura. This is against your flat-footed for a 25.
25 is gonna hit.
32 fortitude.
Alright, so as this strikes you, you're also totally fine. Aura, as you kind of lose track of him, you're going to get hit for 18 points of damage. This arrow a little more deadly when you can't quite track him so well. Oh, then he is going to bleed for 5 points of damage. Well, not bleed. He's covered in crackling lightning for 5 points of damage. Oh man, this is so nice. Clumsy's automatically included. Like, I don't have to do anything.
That's nice.
Feels good to be on Foundry.
I know. Feels good to not have to do a bunch of mental math. The leader of the bandits is going to quickly dive back into the shrubbery she'd originally been hiding in and attempt to conceal herself as well. And she is definitely going to disappear back into this brush for a brief moment while she takes the cover in there. And no bolts fly forth. No shots immediately sail out from this shrubbery. What she's doing in there, unclear, but she's letting her men handle it for now. Now we have a mobilized guy down to the south. He's gonna do his best to break out of this. His first action, he's going to, with a 31 on his athletics, wrench himself free from this tanglefoot, from these vines, a strange spell. And then he is going to step back a little further out of way around the tree before also attempting to take cover and fire from concealment. Hiding, I'm pretty sure, from everyone. Is what these guys do, and they seem to be quite good at it. They're dipping back out of sight rapidly as this ambush progresses. Zerg.
Zerg is gonna take a little cheeky step forward here and grapple this man so he doesn't make a disappearing act. Where
You can't
is
hide from
my-
me.
No escape. Skills. Athletics? Or is it an
Yep.
attack roll?
It's athletics, but it's athletics with the attack trait. Which is athletics.
31 on a grab.
31, you say, and this man is frightened too.
Oh no! Probably screaming at
gonna-
this point.
Critically succeed.
Get over
Got
here.
him. I got him. Step, grab. I'm gonna headbutt the sucker,
Whack.
but I will do it with my fist.
Wait, that's not a headbutt at all.
Not how that works.
I've been lied to.
Just roll a normal actual fist.
At your first multiple attack because the grab is your first attack. So on your attacks there, you should have a second.
-4.
Yep, map -4.
How's he looking? Nat 20, 34.
Yep, that's a pretty meaty punch. I mean,
Did I hit him?
yep, you got him. You got him, buddy.
Did it.
Do I press the critical button?
You press the critical button.
Dude, Foundry's great.
It's really cool. It's definitely gonna take us a little bit to get used to, but it is really
That's a critical
cool.
button.
That's wow.
That's 20 damage.
All right, so you punch this guy in the face for 20 points of damage, just with your fist.
Oh, that's cool little text too.
Do you have weapon specialization? Surely you do. Is it only while you're raging?
No, he has
Not
specialization.
crit specialization.
Oh, he should.
I don't know if he only gets it while he's raging or not.
I don't know where I would find that if I did.
I'm pretty sure you have it, and if you have weapon specialization all the time, I don't see why you wouldn't have crit specialization. Which means when you crit somebody with a fist, which is crit specialization, is one of the second edition rules that I most consistently forget exists because it's just like a brand new mechanic. This guy
same.
actually has to take a fortitude save,
Oh.
of which he got a 20. You know what's your class DC, Zerg?
Class DC.
It's on the
Here it
left,
is.
like halfway down.
25.
So he fails. You hit him so hard, he is also slowed one.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
And you still have an action left.
fucking bats.
No, step, grab, punch.
Oh, step, grab, punch. You're good. That's right. That's right. And then on the initiative table, the fist, you can end your own turn. Whenever you're done, you can just hit end
I
turn
can't
and
see
pass
the
it.
initiative table. Where is that?
It is the fist at the top of the chat box.
Yeah, there's a little
At the top. Oh!
tab.
Yeah, and then whenever you're done, oh, tab takes you there.
Oh, it is a tab.
Oh, a tab. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, so you can go over
Gotcha.
there, and then we don't have to announce we're interns. I don't have to ask anymore. Once we get into it, you just hit intern and sell, and you're up. You can
also
even tell the
right-click
next
it.
person they're up.
Wait,
And-
I get a turn? That doesn't seem right. I'm destined to roll only once. Interesting.
I really like how this lists the 50 bajillion status effects that guy has right now.
I am gonna cast haste.
Oh my god, you can do that.
Yeah, in case you forgot.
Yeah.
And I'll run over here and stab a fool.
Haste. What is the effect called in second edition?
Hastened, I think.
Quickened.
Quickened.
is what it is.
You're so smart. Cole.
It's such a big
Y'all
brain.
just called me dumb earlier.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you're,
but you're
then
being
you're
smart now.
Also, Mono, in reference to the encounter thingy, you can right-click the fist and I'll pop it out for you.
It does pop out.
Oh, no, that's actually super cool.
That's so good.
I
Oh,
told
yeah,
y'all
I think
this.
I knew that. I forgot.
told
I'm
y'all
pretty
this
sure you
already.
Told us that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening to a word you said.
We've had
You never
one
do.
like practice combat, so like
Alright, Kara, strike true. Kara, probably good enough.
what even is your AC right now, my guy?
I fucking hope it's lower than 28 with flat-footed.
That's not why I'm looking.
Oh,
That critically hits.
Oh,
Oh.
Jesus.
that is an oh nay for me.
He's everything. He's frightened too and flat-footed, which is a status and a circumstance. So he's at -4.
He's
He's
having a
AC
bad-
18, my guy.
Oh, that is unfortunate for this man.
Poor
Well,
bastard got
very
grabbed
happy
by
for
Michael
me.
Myers.
Alright. Stab.
Oh.
42 damage.
42 points of damage. And can you at any point hover over him and see his health?
Yes.
Y'all should be able to generally as
Yeah.
a bar.
Yeah.
Oh, you can change his colors.
Yeah, it fades down to through red as it gets low. I might change it so they're visible all the time. That's up to you guys. Do you think we
Alright.
should have those always displayed?
No, I think you can just hover over him.
Hover is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is that his current health after I stabbed him?
Yes.
Well, now, let's see. Warcry. Pathfinder 2e, because I think there's something...
Is he also bleeding?
Well, he is also bleeding for a 1d12.
Oh.
He's having a bad day. Look at that.
He's having a really
He's like the
bad
guard
day.
at the menagerie.
He's
Just a
still
bad
trying to
day.
get his wits together after getting grabbed.
He
and
hasn't
punched
gone
in the
yet.
Yeah. Could you add Enfeebled on that list?
Enfeebled what?
Enfeebled 2. Because of my debilitation.
Dear lord.
Just add him up.
Frightened 2, restrained, flat-footed, immobilized, slowed, persistent damage D12, enfeebled 2.
He just shouldn't have messed with us. Like,
Welcome
what
to
can I say?
Pathfinder, my dude.
Yeah.
Go your fucking stay.
Let's see. Fuck. I'm still getting used to looking through the Foundry feat list, so just give me a quick moment. This should be under.
Yeah, we're
Battle.
still in the learner phase. It works out
Right,
very
I
well.
c-
This is like the first real fight in book 3, is because it's just a bunch of dudes, so we can learn VTT mechanics. This is gonna be so cool once we
Yeah.
get to cruising on this like we were on Roll20.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I'm good. That's me.
So in your turn,
Oh, for fuck's sake! Follow on you that and
you can do that.
there you go.
Alright, so further away, down at the far end of this, the furthest bandit down to the southwest is actually going to have to come up a bit to come in view of you. And then he is going to attempt to hide with a stealth check that's not going to hide him from anybody before he fires a single arrow out towards Sparkbeard. flying towards you for a 34 to hit.
And that does not, that just hits. It ends up lodging in, but does not end up critting.
And that arrow is going to strike you for 11 points of damage. I need you to make a fortitude save as well.
Okie dokie. Wait. Uh-oh.
Waiting. What?
How
What'd you
do I... Oh, here we go. I clicked expert instead of rolling it. 28.
Yeah, you're completely fine there. Finally, it is time for the guy who's doing his just absolute best here. So, we've got a lot of things going on here, but he is restrained. So the only thing he can attempt to do, first of all, is try to get away from Zerg. So
You can try.
he's gonna make an athletics check against Zerg's athletics DC, and he is gonna get a 17. Does a 17 succeed?
Where's my athletics DC? Where is that DC? I can't find it. Where is the DC?
Skills is one of the tabs, and the DC
Skills
is
tab.
going to be your modifier plus 10.
Modifier.
So the plus next to your athletics, it's 10 higher
Oh.
than that.
Oh, 29.
So he critically fails,
Yeah, he ain't moving.
which means he doesn't even get to take any more actions.
He doesn't even get a turn.
He doesn't even get to try again.
But he does
Just-
get to bleed.
He does get to bleed. A lot of this stuff ends, but he is going to bleed for D12.
Woohoo!
11 points of bleed damage. At this point, that guy is just hanging on. Ara.
See him.
I want you to know, I've been watching your Saturday streams for the past couple weeks, and I've had a real bad itch.
Oh no.
Gonna do the hat
Oh crap!
centered right there.
Not the ones.
No, okay, so don't tell me that. Over on the left, that second category, that L-shaped ruler, is templates.
Wow,
So
wow.
go ahead and take that template, click wherever you want the center to be, and there you go. That's where your fireball hits.
Did I say it was a 5th level fireball? It's a 5th level fireball.
You need no words.
Has anyone ever cast Fireball at a lower level than their highest?
You're right.
Probably not, no. So, this guy over here is going to make a reflex save, the one that you guys can largely see.
Shit.
He is gonna get... You can just select and delete it. 28. He
Oh,
does
what a
not
loser.
have evasion. Oh, he's sad. So that's why we have this take half button. How cool is that? Takes 24. And Bennett later, though you can't see her, you're pretty positive is in range, and you're pretty right.
Her
Jeez.
cup is getting blown up.
Literally.
Yeah, she is actually gonna get 23. I'm...
Do it.
Yep, she's gonna get 23.
Take that,
Neat.
Vala.
The
And
cover
then,
just got deleted.
There's like that Monty Python sketch, How Not to Be Seen.
where'd my character sheet go? Oh no. Come back
Press
to
it.
me.
Press
There we go. I'm lazy, and my other hand's on Aura. I'm channeling him right now. And then this guy I can see is going to get the good old-fashioned, my favorite spell in the book, Elemental Toss.
Ooh.
For a 31 to hit.
31. 31's gonna critically hit.
I didn't. So, I didn't press a crit button. I don't have a crit button.
So
But
I'll
it is
just...
21 damage.
Oh, it's not double?
It should be double, but I don't have a crit button. So it should be 42 damage.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. So he's gonna, because there is a double button right there on the damage dealing thing.
Ah, buttons.
Oh my
And
god.
oh boy, he is not looking good at the moment, that man. Having a tough life, to be sure.
And I press the button that says my turn is over.
Yeah. Barkbeard.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the guy in the south. Can I see the guy in the south? I can't remember if he rolled.
If you can see
him
them,
on
you
here?
can see them. The only one,
Okay.
yeah, because they're hidden from you if they successfully hid from you.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to start rolling the roots through the ground. I start kind of moving his direction, and as I move his way, the roots start going down deeper into the earth, kind of creating a trail behind me. And I go all the way down here. And I'm going to move to him, sink down into the ground, really kind of getting into stance. And the roots that are following me kind of surround him again, as he's already kind of had this problem before. But this time they just crush him into this cocoon. And I will... Oh no, that's not what I wanted. I want to make an up. This is ridiculous. Okay, Destronets here is helping out, crushing this guy, which I appreciate.
We figured out. How was it? There was right. So what you do instead of just rolling again separately, that check you just did, right click, reroll, and keep new result.
Okay.
Neato. 27 is going to succeed.
Okay, and as they kind of twist around him, instead of him being able to like stay on the ground, I'm just going to kind of spin around and throw him back towards the caravans up here, up near Arbus a bit. Like, it'd really be easier if you were out in the open. Oh no, I can't flurry of maneuvers. That goes after. That's
Right, yeah, you can't flurry a
flurry.
toss.
Okay, well, you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit you very hard and hope that works out better. So that's at -5. -5? Not very good.
Hey,
Well, you know,
hey-
I'm making a point here.
Yeah, 16 as you got him grabbed is not gonna land on him, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. Let's see here. Intern.
Arbus.
Okay, mildly concerned about the forest fire that Colby just started.
Well, we didn't start nothing.
How's Ara? He's an evil spirit.
So is this like any kind of hampering to my movement if I moved into the wood here over the fence or anything?
You have to get over the fence, which climbing over that is basically just difficult terrain. But then no, these trees and shrubs, if you're in them, they provide concealment, and you could take an action or take cover. But they're not thick enough to be difficult to move through.
Okay, then I would like to move into a better position. 1, 2, 3, and hover. Oh, I collided with a wall. It says 2, 3. Won't let me go any further for some reason. Maybe it is counted.
I am discovering things about wall types. Okay. I was not aware that terrain rolls blocked movement, but I can move you.
However, this is fine. This is what I want to do anyway.
Oh, do you want to go there?
Angle
Or
on
do you wanna go over here.
yeah, just because his fireball was in this general direction, and I think I saw her hide up there too. So, best of both worlds. Get into this position right here.
You can see that is not going to reach the bush
No, it's
from
not.
here. It's going to be
Maybe.
just off because it emanates from you, not from in front of you.
Okay, well then I would a step closer, perhaps, like that.
That doesn't hit him.
Damn it! I'm working out the ruler here. Okay, now that I can move where I wanted to. Damn it, I can't move that way. Yeah, I can. From here. Nope, that's the wrong one. Delete.
We're learning.
Damn it, delete.
Learning.
Ugh. Can't see the goddamn thing. It's in the shadows, but 30 feet that direction.
Because you are blasting it through some concealment here. So you shoot out this
Fair.
30-foot cone here. See, you
It's
can't
when
like
it's-
easily see through this if you're on the far side of it. It's not going to stop you, but it is kind of like a big thing of. You don't ignore like line of sight from overgrowth and foliage, do you?
No.
Okay.
No.
You
it's
blast
just,
your cone
weather.
there. What are you doing?
It's I get to this position, and I'm gonna start to like pull the moisture out of the ground from the rain and create this giant wave to try to extinguish the fire that Colby just Ara just created here, and throw it through all that right there, that 30-foot emanation.
Okay.
So damage. Oh boy. Oh.
And they are. There's no save.
I don't think so.
Wow.
It's a pretty cool spell, right?
It doesn't say it as a save.
That's weird.
It is. It's just not listed in that spell text for some reason. It's reflex. I was like, surely it has a reflex save. It is in fact a reflex save.
Why did they not put it on there? It's weird.
I'm not sure. Weird one
You
from
can
the other
edit
thing,
it.
maybe.
You can edit yourself later.
Okay.
But certainly, regardless of, well, he could critically succeed. Can always critically succeed, my boy. Nope, that's a 25.
Ooh. I won't do it.
So as that strikes him there, how do I find which guy he is on the initiative table? Surely there's an easy way to do that. He's gonna go down. And whatever minor bits of sparks and fire might have been started by the blast of this fireball are gonna be quenched quickly by this massive surge of water.
Yeah. That's me. Oh, I got it. And okay.
And then this guy, out over yonder, arrows are going to continue to fly forth from this covered position by the side of the road. And as he's perched there, concealed in the shrubbery, he's just loosing a salvo. You can see bad things coming for him in the immediate future from the south side, but he also saw a really huge fireball just fly out, and honestly, he's way more afraid of that than he is just, like, you guys in general. So, Ara, first arrow's gonna come at you for a 33 on your flat-footed.
That's going to crit on my flat-footed.
The second for a 30 on your flat-footed.
Oh, that hits.
And the third for a 19.
That actually does not hit. Ha,
Wow.
you suck, scrub.
Oh no!
Stupid noob. Alrighty, so he is going to land a pair every time it's GR. It's never GR. I gotta break that habit. A pair of these arrows landing into you, and from his position, he can get a pretty good angle, dealing you a total of 48 points of damage, and I need you to make 2 fortitude saves.
My brain just short-circuited. Okay, fortitude. 27 and a 30.
But even as these strike you, they may send you reeling, but they don't really slow you.
Do I have an general idea where those arrows came from?
Yeah, they came vaguely from the cover over here. But he
Target
seems
fire.
to be pretty well practiced in using this cover, and even firing this whole salvo does not reveal his exact position.
That's fine.
Their leader who just ate a really meaty fireball and she's not super happy about it.
I'm not happy about it either.
But you also can see there's a huge problem happening over here. Is going to rise from her cover, loosing a pair of shots from her paired hand crossbows, firing down towards Selwyn. And she is denied advantage equal or lower or lower?
Equal or lower.
Okay, because she is also 9th level, so you are not flat-footed to it. Easy. Easiest game I've ever played, honestly. The first bolt is going to come forward for a 37.
Wait, no, that's cheating. Interesting. Can I empathetic plea?
Yeah? You haven't done anything to her.
Yeah.
Well, you're brutally murdering her friend.
Well, yeah, but I'm not doing anything to her. Like, come on, man. It's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
32.
That's against her will DC.
Yes.
That will succeed.
Alright. That's 8 damage lower.
8 damage lower?
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
2 at trained, 4 at expert, 8 at master.
So it is going to strike you still for 16 points of damage. And then...
She did crit me, so...
Oh.
With a 37.
Oh, she did, my mistake, she crit you, so it's going to hit you then for 32 points of
yes.
damage. Dang, I hit half. So you get it in 3 doses.
Yeah.
Still striking true, and almost just more confused and angry. She's still gonna fire a second shot as well for a 23.
I dodged out. She's made the classic mistake. The 1-2 pity.
And then after loosing both of these, she kind of flips both of her crossbows down towards her hips. The firing deck and the arms of the crossbow detaching from the handle at a 90-degree angle. And she swipes them up against crossbow bolts that she has strapped to her hips, loading a second bolt into each as she snaps them back down.
Neat.
Wait, no, that's illegal.
Pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
Down from the southern side, from just around the tree in front of you, Barkbeard, some arrows are going to be fired around each side of the trunk as you press in towards their position. The first, striking out for a 31 to hit.
And that just catches, I mean, it doesn't just catch, but it catches kind of, I'm trying to maneuver this guy kind of as I see them, but they're so close that it's hard to have any, like, reaction time.
You don't have denied advantage, right? Like, no. Everybody else does, so I gotta check. Alright, that arrow is gonna strike you for 19 points of piercing damage. He's going to fire a second. Can I? Oh, I can. Oh, this is cool. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh.
I can just uncover it.
What?
For a
Oh,
natural
that's really
20.
now look at
Yeah.
this shit. Oh, that's.
And this second one, he's going to land, realizing that you're not really in a position to be able to dodge here. Much more critically. Dealing you... Wait, is this not... Hold on, is this not deadly? This is deadly. Bows are deadly, aren't they?
I mean, if
It
you
is.
roll
It
them
didn't,
right,
it didn't automatically put the deadly in there. Okay. But the NPC sheets don't natively have deadly. Hitting you for 39 points of damage. Then one final shot for a 25.
The last one just managing to hit in kind of a gnarled piece where it just doesn't do any meaningful damage.
Alrighty. Zerg.
Poor bastard. For his sake and his sake alone, he's got to be put to sleep. You know, he's suffering, he's struggling, he's having a hard day. Didn't know what he was getting himself into. 32 to hit.
32 critically hits him.
Good night, sweet prince. Okay, 22 damage.
22 is absolutely going to put him down.
He's knocked out.
Good night, sweet prince.
They're expensive non-lethal.
Dude, you can do non-lethal. You can just punch him unconscious if you so choose.
Yeah, I will. I'll punch him unconscious with my big bony fist.
Bonk.
Very
Make him a
unconscious.
roustabout.
Oh boy. Now sudden charge is a 2-turn thing, right? But it ends with a swing.
It's 2 actions and ends with a swing. Yep, 2 moves and a strike.
Cool. I'm gonna sudden charge up to this poor bastard. But I've got the ruler on, so I can't. There it is. And is that a second attack?
That is a second attack. Yep, flying up to the bandit leader here.
Hello.
Very surprising speed.
31.
She is very not ready for that. 31's absolutely gonna catch her as she's pulling her crossbows back up.
Hello. 16 damage.
All right, a solid punch.
Oh, I knew this bit.
Yeah, Selwyn.
All right, so while why I gotta be 35, bro? It's bullshit.
Because Zerk
Oh.
took the 30 spot.
That's true.
So as you move through the brush here, you would see hiding amongst it the source of the arrows sailing towards Ara. You move up adjacent to him. He's no longer like he doesn't have concealment from you anymore. So you just see him
I'll
naturally.
walk past him. Till the morning. See you later. What he doesn't know is I'll empathetic him later. And I'll run up to her because that's where my buddy Circus, and that's where you know, I can get my sweet gang up.
Gang up's fun.
Yep, and I'd like to stab her. Or slammo. I'd like to hero point.
Right click your
Blammo for 30.
30 will hit.
Sweet. And if you don't mind, would you like to make her enfeebled and bleeding?
I got you.
Enfeebled too.
Yep, I got you.
There you go.
I double clicked, but I can't click that fast.
Now, since I'm speed, I move twice, I stab once, that means I can stab again.
It sure does. That is in fact what the haste spell does.
Ooh.
Woo! And you
34.
can catch her again.
Sweet. In that case, yeah, I'm just gonna reduce her speed by 10 as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's a thing for that, so they kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah, 25 more damage.
Ooh, much more solid hit.
How good debilitation? Sorry?
Do the thing. In the turn.
Oh right. I thought you were waiting for me to do something dramatic.
Kind of.
We were waiting a long time for that.
Ooh, we hate to
Holy
see
shit.
it. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I've been gamed.
All right, so this guy is not immobilized, but he is grabbed, which does make his life relatively difficult. And he's got some firing support from behind the tree here. He is going to drop his short bow down to the ground and pull out a hatchet down at his hip, which while he is grabbed, he has to make a flat check to do. He's going to succeed. He pulls his hatchet out, and then, well, start chopping the tree. That's what we're going to go for.
Does seem effective.
Swings at you with a 35. It seems real effective.
And that will hit.
He has weakness axe.
Does that just hit or
Yeah.
does that crit?
No, that just hits. I have
Oh, the 25
27.
didn't hit you, right? I was because your RP of it wasn't hitting like a knot or something. I was thinking you were super low because stances or whatever. And that hatchet is going to catch you for 8 points of slashing damage. And he's going to swing it again for a 28, just trying to bury this hatchet into your, well, I guess, what is it, a hide? It's not flesh, it's your bark.
Bark, yeah.
And your trunk.
Trunk.
It is made of bark.
Right in his trunk.
And that second swing going to do 10 points of slashing damage to you as he just is trying to like just hack his way out of your grip. Largely unsuccessfully. Ara!
You know what I want to do?
Does it
I want to
cast
cast
Fireball?
this. No, I want to cast this spell if it'll let me do the thingy thing. I want to cast Elemental Form, but it looks like the picture's broken.
Oh,
It does.
those connections I might have to set back up because the
Yeah.
I don't know how the file paths are gonna work on the server hosted thing. But it's
But-
okay. You can be a spooky fire ghost for now.
I'm a spooky fire ghost, and I have 50 movement speed now. I'm a fast spooky fire ghost. I'm gonna move over here to look for that dude.
All
In the
now
brush.
Again, as you move up, right adjacent to him, sailing through this brush, and setting leaves and boughs alight, you arrive next to him still training his bow on you.
And I wish I could do more. But that was my effectiveness. Let me end my turn.
Darkbeard.
Okay. I am going, as this guy has this hatchet, I'm going to reach and grab his hand and try and snap his wrist back. But he's not grabbed anymore?
He's not grabbed anymore now. It ends on your turn.
Okay. So I'm going to re-grab him. He would have taken, though, however many 4 damage from that the first time.
I did actually put the 4 damage on him. I remembered your
okay,
crutchy thing by now. I got that
Okay.
one.
Well, I guess actually, you know what? I feel like actually snapping his wrist. So I'm going to try and do a falling stone strike. And just try and break that thing backwards. 26.
26 will hit him.
Okay, so I'm going to. That does. Where's the damage? Oh, damage. There we go. For 17.
Okay.
And I'm going to, as I have that, I'm still holding that. I'm going to bring the other, another trunk around and just kind of get him right in the gut. Or 29.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely catch him again.
Okay. For another 15 damage. And then, it seems quite dangerous over here. So I am going to move back. I think my speed goes down by 5. So I think I could get to here. Let's see.
We speak us down by 5 because mountain stance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then I will raise my shield.
Okie dokie.
And
And then Arbus.
Okay, I was watching Ara take a couple shots and then turn into a flaming beast and go out of my sight. So, I'm gonna walk back into the center of the trail and see if I can get a beat him on him here. 1, 2, 3, and I can't move, man. Ah, one more. I do see him. I think that's him.
He's the weird ghost. The art links for the
Ooh,
transformations broke with the
That's fair.
with the server host too, so I gotta figure that out. There's a couple things, a couple of little like tangential secondary things that broke for moving to the hosted server that I can look into.
Okay, I see him doing that. I'm fairly certain he's within 30 feet. Yeah, it looks like it. And I'm going to start to say some words in Druidic, hold out my hand towards him as some raindrops start to fall, but they don't really harm the fire at all. They just sort of get absorbed. So I cast a heal, see if this works, at level 3 into Aura.
Looks like it worked.
And I
Four.
press.
36.
You should be able to press the
Yep.
heart. Yep. You press the heart next to it, and you will heal yourself for the amount rolled.
Nice. That's
Excellent.
super cool. And that's me.
I turned on
I-
the health bars permanently on everybody because otherwise chat can never see them because I'm never
Oh,
hovering
yeah,
over
yeah.
them because I'm doing stuff on the other screen.
Good point. Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
I just did not occur to me. All right, so this guy, who is now faced with a weird flaming thing, is very much not interested in fighting the weird flaming thing. So what sounds like a good idea is that he run retreating back to some further cover, and then again attempts to hide. But he is, as well, he's pretty unsettled by you turning into a fireball, and he barely even gets around the trunk as he's kind of scrambling to move before he looses another shot back towards Ara for a 27.
27 does not hit me now.
Just passing through the flickering flames harmlessly.
It just burns up.
Their leader is having a tough moment. When she sees she is a little bit surrounded here, she is going to step cautiously down the road away from Zerg, and so she's just up towards Selwyn, the scowl on her face. What is this pity play? Could have been done with this if you just paid us! And
But now she's fucked off.
pull the trigger on one crossbow and the next, firing a pair of bolts down towards the Noom. First shot. Ooh. First shot's a nat 1. I'll
Come on,
reroll it. I
man.
used the villain point from Warmy Joe earlier. I'll use the other one. So I got the
No.
TNT stock left here.
Oh boy.
Our sponsored stock.
Very villainous.
Oh, I can't right-click reroll. I have to just roll it again. I don't get the cool thing you guys get. That's only for players, or only the people who are cool enough to right-click reroll. And yeah, take a shot. How about a 39?
That sounds like a crit.
Oh no.
That one got flipped over. And as that bolt buries itself, let me see. Crossbow, okay, hand crossbow does not have deadly, it just is a hit.
Oh, goody.
Is she still... No, because you hit her, she's not empathetic anymore.
No, she is not empathetic. I'd have
Hit
to
you
be
for-
planting.
Oh, 34 points of damage
Ow.
before firing a second bolt. Well, God does not want me to punish you today for a second natural one. All right, second bolt's gonna miss. And then she moves to start reloading her crossbows, but hasn't quite done it yet. Down here in the corner, as Barkbeard is retreating, back from that tree line, even as you fall back, still comes a series of arrows. Trying to put this weird, grabby, tree, touchy vine thing down while it's still in sight. First shot is going to be a 34. You are flat-footed to this one.
Still not a crit. It just hits. It ends up hitting just a nice, one of the nice
Champion
lovely
armor
branches.
class. It's going to hit you. Wow. For 11 points of damage. That was with the sneak attack dice. That was not a good roll. Second shot for a 14 to hit you. And the third for an 11. As you're retreating away, his accuracy rapidly falling. Bringing us around to Zerg.
Hello.
Oh, she was taking some persistent damage, the bandit captain.
She was, yeah. She was bleeding, actually, yeah. Wapow. 1 damage.
-1. Boop.
Maybe.
Pink.
Ah,
away,
we
dumbass.
Foundry's freaking garbage. It is unplayable. Gets damaged for 1 hit points. Yeah,
Unlucky.
All right, uninstall.
Uninstall. That's
Back to roll
unplayable.
20.
Roll 20 for
Yeah,
us.
we're out of here. Alright, so go ahead.
I'm going to sort of step over / around Selwyn.
Wow. Body.
Selwyn is very small and Zerg is not.
It's true.
Just
Very
That's
small.
simple observations.
And no need to think about it too much, really.
You should have thought
except
about
I'm
it.
going to session reroll it, so maybe I should think about it a little bit.
A little better.
A little bit.
26.
26 is she's now kind of on the defensive pressure. She's actually just gonna dip away from your fist, just catching your armored shoulder, not really landing any damage.
Okay. Left hook. 25.
And she is quick. She may be enfeebled from Selwyn, but strength doesn't seem to be her forte anyway. And Selwyn.
Oh, is it me? Darn, Shimmy. That's not Shimmy. Mono, I wanted to. Why didn't you kill her? Come on, man. Fine, it falls onto me. I'm going to stab her. Oh well, yeah.
Well,
So I am.
I mean, we can't argue with that, I suppose. He said he was going to do it, and he did it. Yep.
That crits, I presume.
Obviously, it did not crit. Her AC would have to be 40 for the not crit.
Yeah.
So,
Kablam.
Boy.
Ooh, 46 damage.
Oof.
Eat shit. Is she still
Yeah.
up?
you see that red pixel on the left
Oh,
side of her health
man.
bar?
All right, let's get that shit out of here.
Oh my god, no! No!
And make up for those ones earlier.
Bro, she has 2 health, come on!
Oh
The
You
redemption.
can't do her like this!
Coup de grace.
What do you do to
Coup de
That's
grace.
2 nat 20s in a row. What do you do to her?
Okay, so she shot me with those 2 crossbows, right? I'm fucking pissed. I hate this shit. I go for a feint, and she falls for the bait. And I cut off her first hand. And I go for another feint. She falls for it again, like the stupid noob she is. Go for the other hand. And then both hands off, I cut off her head.
Oh my god.
Wow.
You still got
Efficient.
2
I like
actions left.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hit, wait, is there anyone left? I'm gonna hit him with
There's
a
several
next.
people left, yeah. The initiative table has the bitter truth.
Yeah.
Where's this third guy at?
No, he's hidden. No one's
Yeah,
no one's
no one
seen him yet.
knows. I'll point over to that guy in the bush and say, "You're next, buddy." Wait. Okay. What? Fuck. He's too far, right?
He's too far, yeah.
Ah, for fuck's sake. Well,
You can still point.
He can still do it in spirit. It's just not
No.
going to mechanically intimidate him.
whatever, dude. I cast telekinetic projectile at him.
Your soul is mine.
Whatever, I throw a rock.
Yeah. He's gonna throw one up a crossbow.
At a minus 10. Get him in there. You can shift click to do modifiers.
Yeah. I'm just I'm spurking around and I can't find my spell roll. I'm bad at this game.
You have to click into the spell. The attack button's at the bottom.
Oh, spell book. Wait. Okay, spell. Sorry, I didn't realize I was going to cast magic today.
I did.
Yeah,
I
well,
knew.
no shit, bro.
I knew you were gonna cast magic today.
Ah, whatever. I'll do it manually in the head. Ah, well, that's a 9.
9! Yeah, you send a rock sailing generally in the
I
direction
send a
of that tree.
message.
It's over.
He's just like me.
That crossbow's gone.
And your turn.
Oh yeah, right. I didn't want to be this person, the one holding up the turns. But
So
here
down
I am.
at the far southern side here, the 2 that Barkbeard had engaged are still loosing their bolts, though this one didn't manage to hide very well. So you're not flat-footed to his attacks. 29 on the first shot.
And 29 does not hit. I have my shield around, and it just thunks into my shield.
He's kind of retreating backwards, shield raised. Second shot for a 19, and third for a 14. The salvo of arrows raining down around Barkbeard. Not really able to land or threaten him much anymore. And Ara.
Ara is
Weird
going
ghost.
to. I'm a ghost, and ghosts go boo.
It is
And
true.
the ghost does this hit at him because we gave myself an NPC sheet.
So
So
25 will hit.
25 will hit. It deals 14 fire damage, and he takes 1d4 persistent fire damage.
Okie dokie.
And then Ghost go... Boo. 20 to hit.
20 is not going to hit him. He's going to be able to scramble all the way to that one.
Okay. I go boo.
All right,
Can't actually
Darkbeard.
talk.
Okay, I am going to run past Arbus and run towards this. I see as I'm kind of running back with my shield raised, I notice this corpse over here. I can't really get to it. How do I get to this thing? Give me the corpse.
Give me
Oh, I can't go over it. Darn it. Okay.
Stop
So I'm
moving!
going-
There.
I'm trying to get on top of the corpse. So basically, so I see this corpse and I kind of dial in and zero into the corpse, heading and wrap all of my roots around it, kind of constricting this corpse, trying to like, and you hear this almost inhaling noise as I just look like I'm kind of crushing this corpse. But you don't really see anything happen. Nothing really ends up. Yeah, the vacuum cleaner, exactly. But I do crush it hard enough that blood kind of starts seeping out of this corpse.
Oh my god!
But nothing really happens. And so
Don't worry about it.
Something.
Nothing happens.
That's something.
he's, but he's frustrated. So this,
That's his excuse.
Stomp on the dead guy, apparently.
this, I don't know how this works. And I'm going to, as I'm there, sink in, kind of ground myself in, and raise my shield, take cover, but I'm just seeping the blood all out of this guy, is basically what I'm doing. Not to worry.
This normal Barkbeard
Anyway,
thing.
that's it. That's the end of my
so-
turn.
Okay, so click the end of your turn button. There you go, Arbus.
Okay. Slightly taken aback by that. Not too much because mental focus on what I gotta do. Barkbeard's been taking some shots. Going to run to his aid next to his friend that he's standing on. Kind of gingerly step around the bleeding, smushed corpse and start working on my my friend here as he does battle. Quickly pulling arrows out, slapping strange muddy powders, trying to heal him up as I attempt to battle medicine on my boy here. Where is my stuff? My stuff. I'm gonna learn this one day. There it is. No, it's not.
There it is. Wait, no.
Yeah. Crap. Should have had it ready before. Where's my stats at, man? I just want my
It's on skills.
stats.
Skills is one of the
there it
tabs on
is.
your character sheet.
Okay.
It's a rough
It's
life.
the
Medicine.
hand.
Huzzah! How's a
Solid.
39 for you?
Alright. I don't know what you were going for because you didn't tell me, so I'm gonna assume.
Well, I was good. You know,
is it always master now?
Not always, but I would have.
Master unless you say otherwise.
Yes.
Alright. That's gonna succeed. 2d8 plus 30 health back to Barkbeard.
Why now? Hold on a minute. He may have those gloves on.
That's factored in now.
That's in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's-
it's factored
what
in
the-
now.
But I
I
don't
did
know what
notice that tag.
I
and
don't
I'm
know
like,
what
wait
they
a
are.
minute.
I don't know what they are. That's not-
Arvis doesn't know, but I feel like at this point,
No.
everybody else knows.
No,
Wait,
see, he would have had a 39 if we hadn't factored it in.
That's
It's
not
just
that's not a
factored
crit.
in now.
Yeah.
I think we're all aware.
He would have rolled 39 if we hadn't factored it in.
It does not crit now.
Oh no, I thought it was 30. Okay,
It is 30,
that's the other one.
so 40 would be
Kind of,
critting.
yeah.
Gotcha. Plus my
He's so
second
used to rolling one under and getting the crit.
is,
Yeah. He's been spoiled.
Yeah, no longer. It's factored in now.
I think it's 40. But now with
Priced in.
still learning the
Oh, with your
medic-
medic thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
10
Yeah,
more.
it sounds right to me. 2d8 plus 40.
That's pretty spicy.
50.
So then, Barkbeard, you can just click the heart. Yep, there you go. Boom.
Yeah.
Bam.
That's sweet. And then just sort of observe what he's doing and lift my shield up.
What the fuck is going on over here? All right.
Gotta do the thing.
As you end your turn, this bandit over here has no idea what's going on. But he's seen his leader get stricken down. He's seen a bunch of his men fall, and now there's a giant ball of fire flying at him that he doesn't seem to be able to hurt. He is going to step back away from you, drop his bow, and just drop down to his knees and be like, I yield, please!
He dies immediately.
Now, the corner, these two still got each other. These two are they're friends. They're not quite so done yet, but he can't see anyone. So he's gonna break cover, and he's gonna move up into a closer tree here. That's as far as he gets to go. An attempt to hide again, which as he quickly scurries forth, he is not going to do at all. Clearly visible as he approaches the tree, he just looses one shot out towards Barkbeard as he's doing whatever fucking horrifying shit Barkbeard's doing. With a 34 to hit.
And again, just manages to catch him.
Make me a fortitude save as you take 13 points of damage.
Okay. Can I use my session reel? I forgot to use it.
Yeah, you can use this, Cheryl.
That's much better.
Zerg.
Okay, good.
Natural 20s.
A lot from where Zerg is currently. 50 feet. That's 2 sets of movement, right?
It's also over a fence, so you'd need to 45-foot it, but that would still get you there.
That's fine. I'll do that. Let's roll. Oh, thank you. You did it for me. Cheers.
Down and just jump the fence at this guy.
Running like full sprint, hand over like hop the fence, and then catching my feet and come up with a goddamn uppercut to the jaw of this man. Oh, it skirted that 20. I saw it skirt that 20. I'm gonna hero point it because I can.
Right-click reroll. Right-click reroll.
Oh.
We can just right-click. You're good, but I'm just saying it because so we'll learn it. But you flipped that over. A 22 would have hit, actually.
Oh,
which
really?
means a 32 is absolutely gonna crit him.
Oh.
The uppercut
Sorry,
that you
buddy.
wanted.
30 damage to the bottom of his head.
Oh boy.
Crack. You still have an action left because that's just a sudden charge.
Oh shit, it is 2, isn't it?
2 actions, got 1 left.
Okay then. So I've come up and got him with that, and then I'm gonna give him another cheeky slap to the head. 24.
Hits him. Dude is not ready for Zerg to charge him.
15 with the left hand.
Beat the shit out of this man. Alright, Selwyn is Zergens' turn.
Yeah, well. You know. How long do I gotta run? Oh well, two actions. That leaves me enough to slap him twice. What's up there, buddy? How's it
Go to
hanging?
the tree and just butcher this guy.
How's it going? You have a good day?
Oh
If
no.
not, I'll stab you. 24?
24 hits.
And put him in people too. Not that it's gonna matter because I'll kill him. Wah! Damn it. Alright. Can't do it twice. Never
He
mind.
let the power go to his head.
Yeah. Unlucky.
Unlucky. This guy down at the southern end of the far tree we still kind of got some cover here. Seeing you all coming in is going to loose a set of shots up towards Selwyn, as she ends up being the closer target here. First shot is a 19, as he's pretty shaken by the stuff that's happening. He did not sign up for this much difficulty robbing a damn circus. He didn't expect you guys to be like machine serial killers. Second arrow, however, dials it in, takes a deep breath, 28.
That does connect, but I would like to give him ye old puppy eyes. No.
Give me old puppy eyes.
Sir,
My birthday.
I'm just a gnome.
As you just used swords
I'm just
in
a
his
gnome.
friend. Please.
Sir, it's my birthday.
Oh my god.
26.
26 will succeed.
Alright, -8 to the damage.
It's my birthday. Oh my god.
He hits you for 1.
Oh.
I am
Not a
very
birthday.
empathetic. Yeah.
He's just not gonna take the third shot. He doesn't know what's going on, really, but, you know, he's done. He puts his bow on the ground, just kind of peeking out from the tree, mixed confusion and horror watching whatever the hell is going on over here. Leaving Ara and just the last bandit standing here with Zerg and Selwyn.
Cool. How do I do the measure movement thingy?
You can either use the ruler or control click. It won't actually move you. It'd be cool if there was a way to just move off of that, and there might be via modules I can investigate.
Cool. I'm gonna use. I'm having issues. I'm gonna use 2 movement, 2 strides to go right here, because it's 50 foot strides.
50-foot strides. You show up next to this man.
Actually, I have a little bit left over, right? That was only 75.
You have a lot left over.
I'm gonna go right there on the other side of Zerg.
Wow, you're fast.
And last action,
That was such a tease.
a 27.
27 hits. That was a super tease. That was a 19. We all know it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess he also burst into flame.
Yeah, 11, and then 1d4 persistent. Not that it matters.
All right.
And
Oh, wait.
boom. Intern.
Oh, yeah. Barkbeard.
Oh, look at you.
I'm going to look at our. I don't know why this isn't working.
What?
But I'll unravel my roots from around this, just dripping in blood. And just slide, I guess, at this point, kind of slide my way down near where this guy is. Let's see here. Go down here. Like, well, you seem to be surrounded. Maybe you could take a deal. Why don't you get out of here? And I'm going to try an intimidation. Only 20.
Only a
I don't
20.
have great intimidation, but you know, I feel like circumstances given.
He does. He does appear to also be pretty done. He doesn't seem like he wants to play anymore. And with that, as he also shakily just kind of hand reaching back for the quiver, just lets go of his bow, lets it fall out of his grip, and just drop onto the ground next to him. He clearly is also no longer interested in fighting. The last 3 of these bandits realized pretty quickly that they are hilariously outmatched here. Very, very much overwhelmed. I made the wise decision to continue being alive. Although, he is still bleeding and also on fire.
I throw dirt on him.
That fixes both problems! Rub some dirt in it. So, as Ara resumes his form and the battle was quiet here. The rest of your circus, as you can look further down the caravan, you can see there were a couple more bandits. Just another 3, 4 scattered down the caravan that the rest of your crew were pretty handily able to take care of. I mean, between Asha and Blue and your freaking mammoth, you Tulips, not really a slouch, and Sniggles. Yeah, the bandits made a terrible mistake. They have woefully underestimated the combat prowess of a bunch of random fucking carnies. And this is a mistake they will not make again. But as he drops and you are just gonna kick some dirt at him, and he drops his bow and sort of panics, dropping to the ground, trying to put out this fire, ending up just laying there on his side, cradling his wounds, sort of looking up at the group of you standing around him.
I told you. You shouldn't try to take my money.
Walk over to someone.
Just a bunch of fucking circus folk!
Right?
Don't tell you to fight like this!
That circumstance?
I am the Stormborn.
We've killed a lot of trogs.
Give me your money.
What he said.
I don't have any money on you. We were just stopping to raid the caravan.
Okay, where is your camp so we can take your money?
Oh. Fuck off.
Come on now. It's only fair play, right?
East of here. Yeah, to the farmstead. It's not far.
Yes, thank you.
Selwyn, can I patch him up?
Sure.
I will patch him up if I can.
Good to keep them in good health. You know, if they it's good branding if we leave some people alive.
Well, no, it's if you surrender, you.
Honestly, when you
You
said
deserve
branding, I
mercy.
thought you were going to suggest something different.
I don't know why you would think such a thing. It's very crass.
If
Well,
you
it
go
is
to our
you
camp
speaking.
and you take all our coin, what are we gonna have to eat?
I don't know. You'd better figure that out.
Oh,
I
there's a
guess.
town up the road. You could plenty make more money there. This is your words. You say this.
Doing what? We're not performers. The
Make a
crops
circus,
are
we did it.
dying.
Hey,
How do you think we're doing this?
I mean,
We ain't got nothing else.
you could be a roustabout.
What?
And point back to the help. One of those guys. Set up, break down.
The help.
He kind of looks up the road to where his leader's incinerated, bleeding body is just kind of sprawled out across the path.
It's not
Fuck it, I'm gonna
glamorous.
put food in my mouth.
What do you think,
proud of
Selwyn?
you. No, I'm proud of you, Ara. Honestly, yeah, good idea.
It is honest work. You
It's a
can
lot of
change
fun.
Your life.
Honest work, I might.
You don't need to rob people on the road anymore. You can earn a wage and provide for yourself.
And if you cause problems, we'll just take care of you. And
Don't
Then it
scare
won't
the
be a
new
problem to
hire,
anyone.
Barkbeard.
Yeah, come on now.
I'm not gonna cause
What?
any trouble. If you'll feed us and put clothes on my back, I got no trouble doing whatever work you need.
Cool. I'll go get Sig.
As soon as you trot away.
Hold
got the
still,
group
these
of them
cops
here.
are deep.
But it sounds like there's still a camp that these bandits have. Not too far out to the east, and between the 3 surrendering survivors, only one of whom is, at this point, as your attention is focused elsewhere, desperately just trying to make a run for it.
Well, I mean, that's good on him, right?
He's,
Good job.
well,
Either way.
running out in the direction that your new roustabouts indicated.
Well,
So
we
it
know
doesn't
where it's
seem-
going.
Yeah, like either following him or with your new friend, it's going to be terribly difficult to head down to the source, which is something we can do next week.
Oh,
We're doing it. We're solving the Foundry puzzle, guys. We're getting in there. We're learning the buttons. It's so goddamn cool.
It really
It's just
is.
so very different. It's so
Yes.
very, very different. But you know, practice makes perfect. And I think we get, honestly, not too many more combats under our belts here, and we'll be able to run this halfway decently. These bandits aren't the only ones who took some hits. You guys are all at least somewhat injured, and someone in Barkbeard in particular look like they could use some attention before you head off to find the source of this camp. Not to mention, you do still have an entire kind of startled and spooked series of caravans and draft animals who are going to take a little bit to settle down and get back under control anyway. Give you some time for a follow-up investigation. Chats, thank you all for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out. This Foundry, seriously, I'm so excited for how smooth this is going to be once we get it figured out. Like, it just seems like it's streamlined so much stuff. The only thing I really got to figure out is the GM view side of it is a little more complex, because I can only see out of one token at a time. Also, I learned a lot of things about walls today that I thought you could go through that it turns out you can't. It's a learning process. I got a big old checklist. I got 6 things on my checklist of stuff to hopefully take care of before we play next. But hopefully, we'll see you all then. Next Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. The next show of the Circus Wayward Wonders. And the next 2 Perception episode of the Extinction Curse. Good night, everybody.